Um,
Here.
I'm I'm sorry, Mr. Scott. Laura Gonzalez Taylor here for the Office of the Attorney General. And Your Honor, I'm not really sure how long this would take since we're not, one of the parties isn't present right now.
Who are we missing?
We're missing Miss Knighton.
Get other appearances? Yes, sir. Mr. Scott, go ahead and make your appearance, please.
Here, sir.
All right, and this is your de novo, as I understand it, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How long do we think? Well, actually, no, is it, or is it the AG's de novo?
It's Mr. Scott's de novo. He filed the de novo. It's a temporary order from 4D court.
Right, I knew that. Okay. And you provided the notice of hearing, ma'am, to
Miss Knighton.
yeah.
We provided it to her for the in-person because we were never able to reach her. However, we did communicate with her yesterday from our office and she was notified that it is on Zoom. And Your Honor, we thought honestly that it would be easier on Zoom because my understanding is she's out of state. But our office did reach her and did provide her the information for today.
Can somebody reach out to her and see if she intends to log on? Do you have?
Yes, Your Honor. I can email her because that's the only way we've been able to communicate with her.
If you would do that while I call the other case, I do.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. And I also have
Your Honor, William Russell for petitioner Cherie Swartz. We're expecting that to probably last about it's probably going to be a default unless I'm assuming he's not going to show up. He hasn't showed up in the last several proceedings. I'm expecting about 20 minutes with you. The only issue is we have a judge in Hawaii that wants to speak with you. But of course, they're 7 hours apart, so we wouldn't be able to do that till later today. I don't know if that's possible.
Hold on, am I on the right? Let me make sure I'm in the right case because didn't it? Yeah, I have a docket note saying that he appeared in the father appeared in December
Of
23.
yeah,
The last docket note I had.
right.
What other hearings has he not appeared in?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on in Hawaii, because they've taken over temporary jurisdiction of the case. And I think there's been 4 proceedings he hasn't shown up to after he did initially show up.
All right, I'm looking at your Mr. Russell, your notice of hearing.
Yes.
And you don't tell him how to get the proper Zoom information. But I guess.
But I mean, otherwise he should go up to Travis County. But he defaulted in our motion. He has never filed an answer.
Well, nonetheless, if you send him a notice of hearing, and I'll talk to if you send him a notice of hearing, the notice of hearing has to tell him how he can appear. And you've set a remote hearing, which you can only do with parties' agreements. So I'm gonna I need you to reach out to him. Otherwise, I mean, if the Hawaii judge wants to talk to me, I can certainly do that, but this notice is insufficient for me to go forward.
Okay.
You filed this notice on 12/16 and you just say, here's the Zoom app.
I understand that, Judge, but he did default and he hasn't filed an answer in this case. We just noticed him anyways. We just thought it was.
Oh, hold on. Oh, you filed the motion to set aside the default judgment.
Right.
Well, so if there's a jurisdictional issue, isn't the first step for me to talk to the judge in Hawaii?
Correct, right.
So I really can't go forward with your hearing until I do that. I mean,
correct. Right.
Okay. So I saw you sent Mr. Stokes an email about that yesterday. If it's 7 hours difference, so I have to go, it's 2 in the morning there. So 2 to 9.
It's a 4-hour difference.
Yeah. Oh, it's only a 4-hour difference? Oh, well, that makes a
Well,
difference.
that makes a difference, sorry.
So by noon, he ought to be available for me to reach out to. Have you provided Mr. Stokes with the information for how I can reach the judge in Hawaii?
Yeah, and I'll resend it to him now.
No, why don't you resend it to my submission email address? So I don't have
Okay.
it. So here's what I'm going to do with you guys. I have, I need to look at my calendar. I have hearings this afternoon. Is it 1:30 or 2? Let me see my calendar. Hold on. So I will tell you all. How about, I'm going to ask you all to log back on at 1:30.
Okay.
And if you send me the information between now and then, I'll start calling at noon or speak to that judge. But whether or not we can do anything will depend on whether or not I can get hold of what's the judge's name?
Sure, what's the judge's name?
Your Honor, the judge's name is Honorable Lance Collins, and I have
What?
Just tell him the name. What's the name?
his name is Lance Collins, and I have a TRO hearing with him also today at 2:30. So I know for sure he will be available around that time, which is 2:30 Hawaii time. Again, so 4 hours back.
So that's 10:30 my time. I'm going to try to reach out to him. I'll start calling his office when I finish this hearing. But in the meantime, unless you hear from us otherwise, I need you to log in at 1:30. If I reach him and I just decide to decline jurisdiction, then I'll have my staff attorney reach out to you, Mr. Russell, and tell you we don't need you to come to be back. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
You all may be excused. Ms. Gonzalez-Taylor?
I've had no response. Judge, I was going to request if the court would allow me to speak with Mr. Scott for a couple minutes.
It's fine with me.
Because
Mr.
we're going-
Scott, are you amenable to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. LaRue, do you mind putting these folks in a breakout room?
Yes,
Judge,
Judge.
I just need about 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, it's 9:12. I'll look for y'all by 9:25. I'll log back out.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. We're back.
Okay. Where are we?
Well, Judge, I spoke to Mr. Scott and he would like to proceed on the de novo. I told him that my concern was whether or not you were going to allow us to default her today. Because I understand that we did send notice for in person, but we did communicate with her yesterday, and in both your office and our office both sent her the Zoom code, and she did respond to us by email.
Well, here's the thing. Would I be defaulting her? I mean, this is his de novo. This is the Attorney General's motion to set child support, isn't it? Do I need her?
No.
For the de novo?
Yeah.
Well, I guess as long as the court. I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Judge. Oh, I mean, to be honest with Your Honor, as long as I believe she got notice. And the question is, whether that was sufficient notice, but again, we did communicate with her yesterday. We communicated her by email at the email addresses that's filed with the court.
Well, let me just make sure. So we're here. The underlying motion is the AG's motion to enforce and modify child support, right?
Yes.
And it's not like we have a claim we don't have a competing custody claim. So if it's just a question of whether the child support is correctly calculated, I'm not sure that based on his income, that the mother.
No, well, actually, I'm sorry. Mom is the obligor.
Oh, mom is the obligor.
Yes, mom is the obligor.
Oh. Well,
So here's the other thing that I spoke to Mr. Scott about. He's currently set for a final in 4D court on February 5th. So I told Mr. Scott that depending on what the court determines, worst case scenario, the court decides, well, we can't default her today. Then I asked Mr. Scott, did he want to proceed on the de novo or did he want to basically set it for final? and maybe refer the case to district court so it doesn't go back to 4D court. And his position is that if that was to happen, he would want the case referred to district court so it doesn't get heard by Judge Morton again. With the understanding that he would be giving up his de novo, which is not what he wants to do right now. He really wants to try to have it heard today. It's his position.
I understand, but even though she communicated with you, the only thing I've got in the file and the notice that was given of today's hearing was for an in-person.
Right. And I've explained that to Mr. Scott, which is the problem.
And I don't know how we got to remote. I mean, if you had sent an amended notice of setting saying it was remote, Mr. Scott, I'd be happy to go forward, but the notice just isn't right. So.
And Judge, I can tell you what happened was Mr. Jacob Stokes assisted with this case last time Mr. Scott was in person, contacted our office about getting this case heard. I think Mr. Stokes thought that everybody was present, and so he put it on Zoom, thinking everyone was going to be in agreement with Zoom, but neither I nor Mr. Scott ever was able to get a hold of Miss Knighton. So we never officially got it. But I emailed Mr. Scott saying, well, let's just appear on Zoom and hope that she would appear because we're not sure if she is out of state or there's a disagreement about whether she's out of state or not.
I realize while we've been talking, Mr. LaRue, I'm going to ask you if you would go out in the hall and see if there's a Miss Knighton there.
Yes, Judge.
Sorry, since I wasn't quick on the uptake, this had been the notice. If we can't go for it, Mr. LaRue is going to go out in the halls because I'm in my chamber working on Zoom and the courtroom isn't open. We typically do Zoom, in chambers. I'm happy to give you a real quick reset. And I could even do it as early as next week. Put you on
Okay.
Your Honor, I can't take off work to be more days. I took off. This will be my third day of taking off. She didn't come in person the first 2 times. I doubt she's there right now. And I'm just really asking just to at least hear this. Like she said, I have the final hearing coming up. So I've been trying to get this done since November. October, November, and then November, December. So this is the 3rd time. I'm just asking just to hear it, just to hear the situation.
Yeah, no, Mr. Scott, I understand, and I understand you representing yourself is difficult, but I've got a problem. The notice the AG sent out said to come in person, and then we're here. So there's no one in the hallway, but nonetheless, it would give her an appellate point, Mr. Scott, that if I proceeded on Zoom, if y'all were here in person and you do it, I'd default her, but we're not.
I mean, Your Honor, I don't have a vehicle to get downtown. It was a fight and a struggle just to get this Zoom meeting.
Well, Mr. Scott, again, here's the option I'll give you. We can reset it for a Zoom hearing one day next week and give her proper notice. She has to have at least 3 days notice. We could set it as early as next Wednesday. I have to look at my calendar, but I don't want to move forward when her notice is my job when there's a default is to make sure that all the formalities have been taken care of. And in this case, there was a mistake made in that it says come in person. So it's up to you, Mr. Scott. I mean, the other option, as Ms. Gonzalez-Taylor said, is we could have the case referred to district court and have it heard on your final hearing. But the truth of the matter is, we're not supposed to do Zoom unless everybody's in agreement.
Yes, ma'am. I do understand that, but
There are a couple of issues. I don't know that she's not in agreement. I don't have anything formal apparently that she's in agreement, and the notice is wrong. It told her to show up in person, so I just can't proceed.
Yeah, I'm at the whim of your decision, Judge.
Well, no, so your options are I'll set it next week for a de novo. I'll try to do it. I don't know how long it takes you to get here at a time that's convenient for you. It doesn't have to be 9. I could do it at 1:30 or something. Or we can just refer it from 4D to district court for your final hearing set in February.
Yes, I would like to go ahead and reschedule it for next week, and I would still like to have my final hearing at district court, Judge Morton decision. I just didn't agree.
Can I tell you something? Even if you do, we're now in the middle of January.
Okay.
I can only change the order. I mean, Judge Morton's decision was from
November, Judge. Started at child support November.
Or why don't we, or you could do the final and the de novo at the same time. But it's up to you. If you want to come down to the courthouse next week, I'll give you setting.
I don't have a way to get to court. I don't really have days to keep taking off. I
Well,
don't know
that's
what.
again, Mr. Scott, I'm trying to accommodate you. I really am. I'm sorry that this didn't work out, but
Judge, if I may, if Mr. Scott wanted to hear the de novo and the final at the same time to help him with transportation issues, we would still have to provide the 45 days notice then.
I thought you said that the final was already set.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Judge, you're right. The final is set on February 5th, but it's in 4D court.
Well, I don't think that there's the notice is given if we keep the same day and we just say it's being transferred to
Okay.
different court, that's still 45. I mean, when did you give notice of the final?
Let me check, Judge.
Notice of court proceeding virtual. How are y'all doing virtual when people don't agree?
Oh, in 4D court?
Yeah.
Well, Judge Morton is only now doing pretrial. So they can have hearings on that day. If they're not in agreement, then they have to go be set in person. She's just doing it more like a pretrial docket.
Okay.
And then all contested hearings have to be in person.
I don't see, did she set the final in
No, the final's in person.
I know, but when was it set?
I have to look, Judge. I'm
February
sorry.
8th.
No, I understand it's set for February 8th. I'm looking for, temporary orders. It's set for trial on February 6th, not February 8th.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. Let me pull it
According
up.
to the temporary orders signed and filed by Judge Morton on October 15th.
Yes, I apologize, Your Honor. You're correct. It's February 6th at 8:30. And let's see if Mom signed that temporary order. She did. Mr. Scott did not sign, but Miss Knighton did sign that temporary order with the notice. But it's in person, yes.
So again, Mr. Scott, I guess I could, when I de novo, I should know this. I'm not sure. Oh, she started, her child support was set for 4/39 beginning November 1st. If I did novo hearing today or next week, I could only put a new amount to begin February 1st.
I just have to accept what I can get at this point. So I do understand that.
So again, I'll give you a de novo setting. I don't know that it's going to get you an extra month of increased child support if you're correct.
So my question was the novo hearing could okay, that's fine.
Well, and it's kind of silly saying de novo, and we can say it's de novo and final, but the same day. I mean, if you get a final and the amount's different, it would be effective as of, I guess the judge could say effective February 15th, but you can't retroactively set child support. Raise it. I don't believe, can't Ms. Gonzalez-Taylor?
Well, the court could, if the de novo was granted, the court could go back and set it a different amount to go back to the November 1st date.
Okay, well, that could be heard at the same time as the final.
Okay.
But again, it's Mr. Scott. If you want to come down here next week, I'll give you a setting, but it's got to be in person because the rules don't allow me to set virtual hearings unless everybody's in agreement. And I'll check with Mr. Stokes and the court administrator about how we got to this point. And I apologize for, seems like there was just a mistake made about that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Mr. Stokes was just trying to be helpful with the belief at that time when he said it, thinking that everybody was in agreement.
I mean,
I think that's what happened.
If we got an agreement from her and there's something writing, fine, but it doesn't sound like we have one.
Judge, could I just make sure that Mr. Scott understands, and I know the court's explained this, but that if we come for de novo next week, it's still not going to finalize this case. He's still going to have to come back for final setting. So what the judge is saying is you can do it all at one time, have it heard at one time, but that would just set it for final.
Yes, I agree to that.
So you want to reset the de novo and the final at the same time?
Yes, I would like for both of those to be at the same day. I mean, at that point, yeah. But one thing, could I ask, is it possible we could try to call her right now while we're here?
Yeah, y'all can try to call her and see.
Judge, I have texted her already. She's not responding.
Well, we just try to call just in front of the judge so the judge can see how blatantly she's ignoring this.
I appreciate that, Mr. Scott, and if the notice were right, that would be helpful and I'd move forward. But I have to make sure that the documents in the court's file justify me defaulting her on Zoom, and I've explained to you the problems. The problem is the formal notice said, come in person.
Okay, I understand.
All right, so what we're gonna do is Ms. Gonzalez Taylor is gonna do a notice of court proceeding, resetting the de novo and the final hearing in person on February the 6th. I'm gonna make a docket note about this, the confusion about it being on Zoom, and that Ms. Gonzalez Taylor said she was in communication with Miss Knighton yesterday, but Miss Knighton didn't appear virtually or in person. And since the notice was in person, I couldn't go forward. But we're going to make sure that there's proper notice. You'll have to come down here, Mr. Scott, and I apologize for that, but we'll get it taken care of that day. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to talk to the court administrator and make sure that you have it should be a very high line number. Well, and Miss Taylor's going to do a proposed order transferring to district court, send it to me, I'll sign it. And I'm going to make sure that that this is on the family law docket with a high line number so that you can get reached early in the morning and it shouldn't take all day. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And Judge, that does not necessarily mean that it's going to come to you on that
No,
day.
not
It
necessarily.
could, right? Okay, that's what I just want to confirm.
On the family law docket, right?
Yes, I'll put it on the family law docket on February 6th, right?
Do you
And
have the language from the court's preferred notice language that's on the website? If not, we can send it to you. That
If you
says,
could,
yeah.
if you could send it to me, that would be great. I'll give you my email, whoever
Yes,
needs
please.
it.
What's your email address?
It's laura@texas.gov, and Texas is spelled out.
Okay, Ms. Taylor, I will send you that notice language in a minute. Let me get the notice on. Once you send it to me, let me look at it. Send me at the same time you send me the order transferring this to district court, and I'm going to make sure that it's set on the district court's docket for February 6th for both the de novo and a final. How about that?
Yes, and that's still 9 a.m., right? It's 9 a.m. docket?
It is, but you should put the notice. I think it still says 8:30. I'll look. It's on.
Okay.
It's 8:30.
Okay, 8:30. All right, so I'm gonna do the referral, send it to your office for you, and then I'll do the notice of hearing for in person on the final and for a final hearing and the de novo.
And why don't you don't file the notice? Let me take a look at it and make sure that it's going to be okay.
Okay.
Forward.
Yes, Judge. I'll forward it to your office then. Who should I send it to?
My submission email address, please, which is my court number 419.submission singular at Travis County, all spelled out, TX, traviscountystx.gov.
Okay. I'll get that done as soon as we're done here, Judge.
All right, Mr. Scott, apologies about that, but we'll get you all taken care of in February, okay?
And then Judge, would it be okay if, would you want Mr. Scott to sign that notice of hearing, or I'll just send it out so he doesn't have to sign?
Send the notice of hearing. He knew about the hearing anyway. He'll get a copy of it, right?
Okay. Yes, I will send it to him. I'm in communication with Mr. Scott. I have a good email for him.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you all very much. Sorry for the confusion, and we'll get this straightened out.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Scott. We'll visit later.
I have had an opportunity to discuss this matter with Judge Lance Collins of the Second Circuit Family Court in Hawaii. And we have determined, after conferring, given the status of this case, especially given the prior orders here in Texas and the fact that mother moved to Hawaii contrary to court orders, that I'm refusing to decline jurisdiction. I believe Judge Collins is going to make a docket note that he is not going to take emergency jurisdiction. This case will remain in Texas. I do note, however, that Mr. Russell, that we really can't proceed with any other hearings today because you set this with Zoom without the agreement of all parties.
Okay.
So,
but Judge, is a default. So how are we going to proceed with default?
I guess Ms. Schwartz is going to have to come to Boston.
Okay.
Texas will retain jurisdiction. I believe y'all, Ms. Schwartz, there's another hearing in front of Judge Collins this afternoon. But the other thing is you have filed motions, Mr. Russell. The rules of procedure require that any motion that's filed with the court must contain a certificate of service. That means you needed to send them to father, even if he hasn't made an appearance. So your pleadings are inappropriate. Your setting is inappropriate. Those are all going to have to be.
Sent by certified mail to.
Well, there's no, I'm looking at your motion for default. There's no certificate of service.
Okay,
So I can only assume that.
okay,
Your Honor,
Miss,
I'm
by counsel, Ms. Schwartz.
okay. And then the next proceeding, if it's in default, does she have to attend? Our question is, does she have to attend if he's in default after we send those motions, Judge?
There can only be Zoom hearings with the agreement of all parties or get permission from the court. So, you know, whether or not Judge Collins wasn't sure if he was going to show up in Hawaii today or not. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe we could,
But I don't think, you know, he didn't know. Well, yeah, I don't know. But anything else you file needs to be, well, if he's in default, but the motion to decline jurisdiction, actually, I'm going to make a note that I talked to Judge Collins, and I believe he's going to make a note that he's refusing to exercise jurisdiction given the status of all this. But there wasn't, there's a certificate of service on your motion to decline jurisdiction. So, anyway.
but the motion for default, or excuse me, the motion for the bill of review and also the motion to modify, those were both served on him and he hasn't filed an answer.
Well, I understand.
We proceed on that.
But you filed the notice of hearing. Well, again, I can't proceed via Zoom
Okay,
because there's no agreement to proceed via Zoom.
okay. That was just our understanding with Jacob, that if there was a default that we could do Zoom. That was our understanding. Is that not?
I just telling you the rules and
Okay.
but the other thing is you filed motions. Motions all must have certificates of service.
Okay.
Anytime you file a motion in a case, you must have a certificate of service, right? Even if somebody hasn't answered.
Okay.
And furthermore, your notice of hearing doesn't have the appropriate language to tell him how he's supposed to.
Well, his email. Our understanding with that is that, and this is from Jacob, that we're supposed to. That's the notice we give, and then we provide the email address.
Maybe you're right about the notice, but I'm not going to move forward with any of the other motions today.
Okay.
And I think that then the issue will have to be wrapped up in Hawaii as well.
Okay.
I understand y'all are going to have a hearing there this afternoon.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have 2 other children residing here. Is it at all possible to be able to stay in Hawaii to reside for the case in Austin? It would be extreme financial hardship.
I can't give you legal advice, ma'am, and it's inappropriate for you to ask me those questions. You have counsel, you need to discuss it. Yeah.
Apologize.
All right. Thank you all. You
Are
may
we
be
dismissed?
yes. Okay. I see somebody raising their hand, and I thought if you're going to make an announcement, there, Mr. Austin, are you here on that case?
Yes, I am.
And you're the okay. Are you the father?
Grandfather.
And you're representing yourself?
Yes.
And are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right. Who else is here on that? Miss Contreras, are you here on that case?
I am, yes.
Okay. And you're the mother?
Yes, I am.
You're ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right. How long do you all think your hearing will take?
Not too long.
5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. Next up, I have.
Judge, I want you to see that Mr. Otten II is also here for this case.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Mr. Otten II. All right, Patrick Otten II. You're here. You're the father?
Correct.
All right. And are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right. You agree with the 5-minute time estimate?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. D1FM 20003974 Sanchez in the matter of marriage of Sanchez and Green.
Marco Sanchez for Mr. Sanchez, and we do have a translator.
Where is that translator?
Sophia.
It should be Evangelina. I just sent an email to her asking her where she's at. I don't see her here. If you give me a moment, Your Honor, I can go ahead and give her a call.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sanchez, assuming you can get the translator, how long will your hearing take?
The hearing will take probably 10 minutes tops.
Thank you. And then I have D1FM 24005729 in the matter of the marriage of Asad and Abul Qasim.
Your Honor, good morning. This is Nita Din, and I represent the petitioner, Ms. Assad. And this was for a temporary orders hearing, and we're requesting 3 hours. We do have 2 sign language interpreters present for myself, and also we have an Arabic interpreter for my client, Ms. Assad.
Okay, it's on the docket as a merits setting. I guess I'll get to that. Is the respondent?
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Jodine Greenwood. I'm here for the respondent,
Hold
Mr.
on, I don't see who's talking to me.
My apologies. I thought my video was on. Jodine Greenwood here for the respondent, Mr. Abil Gassim. He is here. We're doing temporary orders and I believe protective order too. I think both.
A separate case. I don't see your client.
He's here. He just needs to turn on his video. Mr. Abil Gassim, can you turn on your video? There he is.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we all agree this is not merits, it's temporary orders, and you're
Yes.
also on cause number DUN FM 2500503. The same,
Yes.
please.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
And that's a protective order. What is the combined, doesn't it make sense to try those two cause numbers together? And what is the combined time you need for both of those cause numbers?
I think we said we are going to combine it. Me and Ms. Din did discuss that, and we thought I think it was for 5 hours is what we put down, 3 and then 2.
And you think you'll actually need 5 hours?
Maybe. Yes, Your Honor, just to be safe.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to take up the shorter. Yes.
Yes, the main reason why we're asking for more or less time is because we have the Arabic interpreter there, and I want to make sure that my client has access to the communication. So the 5-hour time announcement is based on the interpretation.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take up the shorter matters first.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm here on a case that you set as a motion to enter on D1FM 20-002-496 in the interest of Lopez.
That was set, my docket shows that was set at 1:30.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let Ms. Powell know as well. We'll see you then. Sorry, thank you.
Here, is she? She's Ms. Powell in here, right?
She's not here right now. She was trying to log in, so I'll let her know.
Ms. Chambers, I have a motion to enter, my motion to enter is set at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Again, appearances, please.
Patrick Otten, grandfather.
Annalise Contreras, the mother.
Patrick Otten II, the father.
Okay, so we are here on a merits setting for a suit affecting the parent-child relationship. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
And we're here on a First Amendment petition filed by Mr. Patrick Otten, the grandfather, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
All right, Mr. Patrick Otten, the grandfather, do you want to tell me what relief you're seeking?
Yeah. So what we're doing, Your Honor, is putting myself in full custody of the grandchild. This is an agreement with the parents. This is so that she can have better opportunities in medical, schooling, and just a better, more access to things that I have, because I'm a disabled veteran and a active Marine Corps reservist still. And so I have a lot more benefits that I can bring to my granddaughter at this age so she can better pursue stuff in life.
Okay, so is there a proposed order that you want me to sign?
Yes. Everything should be already agreed upon and set forth with visitation, everything, how just in case purposes, everything's set up.
I guess that's in the box. Do you know where the proposed, did you go through the law library?
Yes, I did. I'm not sure how it gets to you, ma'am, but yes, everything was already submitted.
No, hold on. Let me look in what's called the box, which is where we put exhibits. But while I'm doing that, the parents, do you all agree with the relief being sought by the paternal grandfather?
Yes.
Yeah, we notated and agreed everything on those agreements that were sent in.
Okay.
Judge,
Yeah.
if you look in your personal email, Bernie had sent us the orders last night.
There. Okay, I found some orders. So we're here about Alani, who is 4 years old, correct?
Yes.
And up to now, based on this pleading, Mr. Patrick Otten II has not established his paternity, correct?
We took a paternity test, personal one, way
No,
back, but nothing in the courts.
There are no court orders establishing his paternity. So in this, we're going to do that in this order, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we agree that grandfather is going to be appointed sole managing conservator with the parents, Ms. Contreras and Mr. Otten II being designated as possessory conservators?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you realize, Mr. Otten, that the order you've given me requires you to file an annual report with the court concerning the child's welfare, where the child is living and the child's physical condition?
No, but that's fine with me. I can do that.
That's the order you presented me has you doing that.
Okay.
Okay, let me see what. You're not requesting any child support at this time, correct?
No.
All right, let me just. And you're going to provide health insurance for the child?
Yes.
Where's the child been living up to now?
She stays with mother and father, and we kind of go. She goes back and forth, but sleeps at mother and father's and spends time over there both ways.
Okay, is there a
They live-
reason that we're naming you sole managing conservator and not naming everybody as joint managing conservators?
Not necessarily.
Who at the law library helped you with these forms?
Laurel Holland.
Okay.
But we did choose that I would be the sole, so that I have the overall full say so of.
I'm looking for the possession schedule because I need this order to have a possession schedule. And so far, oh, here it is.
It should be. I should come in.
Okay. So Ms. Contreras is going to have weekday evenings, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 6 p.m. until 7:30 a.m. And the father, Mr. Odd II, is going to have the first and third Saturdays from noon until 5. And the grandfather's going to have all other times. Okay. And this is what y'all have agreed to?
Yes.
And you all believe this is in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all working together. And as part of this, do I gather so that the child can be covered with insurance and get the benefits that the grandfather can offer?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
better opportunities.
Okay. But you also, I've been presented with an order to change the name of the child. Is that correct?
Correct.
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 And you all want me to change?
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
All right. Well, I appreciate you all working all that out. And I wish you all the best. I hope Alani does well. Looks like she's got lots of people in her life who love and care about her. So good for
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You get
Thank
these
you.
signs, they will be filed. You should get them through the electronic filing with the district clerk. If you don't see them in the next couple of days, you might call the district clerk's office to see about getting a copy. Okay.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
You all may be excused. Do you have your interpreter
Awesome.
here?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
So
We got
Leah
any-
said that here, yeah, I just sent her another text saying that we were waiting for her.
No, she's not here is the answer.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, we
I
just
think
freed her
I'll-
up in another courtroom, so she should be appearing pretty quickly. But we'll wait, Judge.
Well, I mean, I'll make a docket note, and otherwise I'm going to start a 5-hour case.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I can take, if it's really 10 minutes, I understand what this case is about, but,
I'll make it 5.
well, I'll give you your time, but, you know.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to make a docket note in the case I just handled, and.
Yes, ma'am.
If
Thank you.
you're not ready, then if she's not here, then I'm going to start with the other case, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. No, well then I guess we'll just have to wait, Judge, so you're available. I'm sorry.
Well, y'all let me know when she gets there, and I'll try
Yes,
to see at a break if I can take this up.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Sure. All right, let's get set up, please, in the Assad and Abu Ghasim cases, please. Alexandra Krosik.
That, Your Honor, she is an advocate and she is from the AFSSA, the Asian Family Services Support of Austin. She's here for my client.
Okay, do we need to have her camera on with nobody in the box? I don't mind having an advocate, but are they together? And if not, can she turn off her camera so I don't have such small boxes for everyone?
Sure. Alex, can you please turn off your video?
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to call 2 cases that we're going to try together. They are cause of a protective order. May I have formal appearances for the record, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. This is Nita Din. I represent Ms. Assad as the petitioner and the applicant for both causes.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor. I represent Mr. Abdul Qasim, the respondent in the case.
All right. And based on our earlier discussion, we're going to try both these cause numbers simultaneously, just as a matter of expediency, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
That's correct.
Ms. Den, if you would like to begin with a brief opening statement.
I would. So for today's temporary orders hearing and protective order hearing, we are requesting that Ms. Assad be appointed sole managing conservator of the children with the exclusive rights to, in conformity with Texas Family Code, Section 53.132, and Mr. Abusin be appointed possessory conservator of the children. According to 153.131B.
Hold on. Mr. Hakeem, are you doing an interpretation for the Arabic speakers? And where is I need Mr. Abul Qasim to have his camera on. He doesn't appear to be, I can't see him in the court. All right, I need you to leave your camera on. And who needs the Arabic interpreter?
I believe the
My
wife.
client does.
Okay, well then shouldn't Mr. Hakeem be doing interpretation of what's being said? Well, hold on, before we even get there. Mr. Hakeem is not a licensed court interpreter. Do both parties agree that we're going to use a non-licensed court interpreter?
Mrs. Side, I need your permission for this. Can you have the thank you.
Let me call my client really quickly. I thought the interpreter was a court-appointed one. Your Honor, I'm guessing, let me call my client really quickly, Your Honor. He doesn't need an interpreter.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Only Miss Assad needs an interpreter, right?
Yeah, only Miss Assad needs the interpreter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I need to hear, and Mr. Hakeem is not a licensed interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't proceed with a non-licensed interpreter unless I have an agreement from everyone.
Okay, let me call my client really quickly, Your Honor.
We'll be on break. In the meantime, I may call the court office to see did anybody go through the court administration about getting a licensed interpreter set up?
Your Honor, if I may. Yes, I did, Your Honor, and it was very far in advance. It was not the last minute. So I'm surprised with this information. This is new to me, and I do not know why they selected a non-licensed interpreter for this. And I do have concerns because we have an emergency protective order today, and that expires on February 9th, the one that was the emergency one. So it's really important that we keep the protective order in place, and that's why we need this hearing today.
Okay, so let me be clear. Mr. Hakeem was found for you by the court administrator's office.
I believe she's asking Mr. Hakeem. Is that correct?
Well, Mr. Hakeem just answered, and he's filling in for someone who was a licensed interpreter who just asked him to fill in. So there's the mystery solved. Now I see Miss Leon is in the waiting room, who's the Spanish interpreter from the other case. I'm going to ask you all to stand by. I'm going to try to get to Miss Greenwood can talk to her client. Miss Den, you can, talk to your client offline. I need everybody to turn off their cameras in the Assad matter, and we'll figure out if we can proceed with Mr. Hakeem after I take up the other matter.
So interesting docket this morning, Judge.
So I'm a big advocate for Zoom and judges meetings. I always say we should have it, and I have days like today, and then I wonder why.
Well, I like the Zoom. I'm just thinking with all the interpreters and the moving parts. You know, you have at least three interpreters that I see.
Yes. All right, Miss Leon, I need you to not be walking while we conduct court because I Zoom. So you just sit down somewhere, please. Of course, I can't hear her.
She may actually be going into your courtroom, Judge.
Well, it's locked because I'm not in my courtroom.
Okay, here we go.
I can't hear you. Hold on. Thank you. Okay, okay, Miss Leon, you're added. You can use the interpretation channel. I need to be sure that I can hear you, and then I need Mr. Sanchez's client to log on.
Okay.
Okay, I hear you now. Okay. Let me swear you in first before you do that, Miss Leon. Thank you. All right, Mr. Sanchez, your client needs to.
Any second now. I just called them, Judge. I'm sorry to put the court through all this. There we go. Okay.
All right, cause number D1, Sanchez and James Lionel Green. Appearance, please.
Marco Sanchez for Mr. Josue Ramon Sanchez.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, I show that we're here on a motion for default, correct?
That is correct, Judge.
All right, you want to walk me through?
Yes, ma'am. The parties were married in 2019 and they separated a few months after that. Our client moved to Texas, then the parties kind of off and on, and then finally the last time that that our client actually conversed with his husband, the notation is that he moved to Ohio and was living with his mom, and after that they've not had any contact. Our client indicated that his ex-husband or soon-to-be ex was in and out of trouble all the time, so his phone number changed. And he moved around a lot, and so after repeated attempts of trying to get his husband served up in Ohio and anywhere else we could find a place that possibly he would be, we asked the court to approve a citation by publication, which was actually completed on December the 20th of 2024. And that is part of the record, which was filed on January the 3rd of 2025. There's also in the record a notice or certificate. It looks like from the court's administration office, and that the notice was also published on the internet. And so we do believe that after the notice that being published and whatnot, that we're ready to go forward on this, because he did not answer.
Okay, I have a couple of questions.
Yes, ma'am.
One is, why don't you have a military service affidavit? I don't believe it's sufficient for you just to have your client saying, I can't.
No, it's filed, Judge. I actually am looking at it right now. It was filed yesterday. There's a military service affidavit. It was file stamped February the 5th at 10:03 a.m. And I do have it on my screen if you want.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too, but it says it's signed by your client. It's not through the manpower database. And it just says your client is unable to determine whether his husband is in the military. Why didn't you get a regular manpower database affidavit?
Usually we just do a military affidavit by the spouse. We don't get a manpower affidavit. If that's something the court wants, then we'll get one.
Well, in this instance, since your client doesn't know where he is, can't find him, I do think it's important.
Okay.
So I'm willing to hear the evidence, but I think I really need a formal affidavit. And if that gets filed, we can take care of it. Did the parties ever reside together in Texas?
It was an off and on thing, and so I don't know if you can say they actually resided together, because they separated and then they tried to get back together, and it was off and on in Texas.
Okay, but there were times in Texas. That's all I needed.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to let you call your client, Mr. Sanchez. You can put on the evidence. I'll hear it, but assuming all the evidence you can elicit is appropriate, I will take it under advisement pending you getting me a military service affidavit.
Yes. Okay. At the time of filing this petition for divorce, did you reside in the state of Texas at least 6 months before that?
Sí.
And did you live in the county of Travis or Travis County at least 90 days before filing the divorce?
Así es.
Okay. And the two of you, Mr. Green and yourself, were married. Can you tell the court the date that y'all were married? May the 3rd, 2019?
Sí, en mayo del 2019.
And separated in November of 2024, 2019.
Así es.
Did the two of you, have an off and on relationship after that separation?
Así es.
And was some of that off and on time spent in Texas?
Sí, así fue.
Are you asking for the divorce because of discord and conflict of personalities between the two of you?
Sí, por esa razón.
Is there any reasonable expectation that the two of you will reconcile?
No, ninguna.
Were there any children of the marriage adopted?
No, ninguno.
Okay. And in terms of what you're asking for in division of the marital estate, are you asking that that you keep what you have and he keeps what he has?
Sí, así es.
Okay. And at the time that you all were together, do you know whether or not Mr. Green was ever in the military while you knew him and while y'all were in contact?
No lo sé.
Was he ever in the military when y'all were together?
No.
Okay. Okay. Do you believe that, I guess, that the division of this marital estate is just and right?
Sí.
And your name was not ever changed, so you'll be keeping your same name. Is that correct?
Sí, así es.
And are you asking the court to grant this divorce?
Sí, por favor.
Mr. Santamarco Sanchez, your petition filed on March 12th, 2024 states that you're asking the court to grant a divorce without a division of the marital estate due to the exercise of partial jurisdiction. But then I asked me to divide the marital estate, and can I do that?
There's nothing to divide, Judge. I just want a divorce.
I think that's probably, sounds like that's probably right, but you don't have a pleading asking me to divide any property.
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
So, all right. Having heard the evidence, I will, assuming you can file a manpower database affidavit that shows that the respondent is not in the military, I will grant the divorce based on the court's exercise of partial or interim jurisdiction. But it's contingent upon me having a manpower database affidavit, not just an affidavit signed by the petitioner.
Yes, ma'am. I'm on it now.
And the decree will say that there is no division of the marital estate based on your pleadings.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. But you'll need to get me a BVS form as well.
We have a BVS form prepared for you already.
When you get the manpower database affidavit, I need you to file it and then send it along with the divorce decree and the BVS form to my submission email address. At that point, I will grant the divorce. But
yes, ma'am.
Not before, but it sounds like it's just a formality and we can get the divorce done as soon as that is filed.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Ms. Chambers, do you have a report back on the interpreter situation?
Ms. Roberts and Ms. Koenig are right now looking for another Arabic interpreter. They were not aware that Ms. Hakeem was sick. She didn't let the court know. So they're trying to find an interpreter right now.
Well, I guess if Mr. Hakeem is here, I guess the parties might agree, but
yeah, my client doesn't agree. He would prefer
okay.
to have a court certified interpreter.
All right, then we're going to have to by and see if we can find one. Mr. Hakeem, I appreciate you appearing, but since you're not a court licensed interpreter without agreement of both parties, I can't go forward. I'm sorry too. I appreciate you trying to fill in for whoever was sent, but you might tell that person if she's sick, she needs to contact court administration. Okay. I'm sorry she's ill and I appreciate her trying to work on it, but it's not quite that simple. if you were licensed. The rest of you all can either stand by on Zoom, or I could have Ms. Chambers, we could log off and I could have Ms. Chambers email you, assuming we can get another Arabic interpreter. If not, we'll have to get a reset date to have a licensed interpreter. And I understand that the protective order is going to expire on the 9th, so we'll have to get a reset. As soon as, this week, I will help you get on the docket and get another reset before or we could agree to extend the ex parte. I would extend the ex parte PO. I would just extend it, given that the interpreter that was scheduled to be here could not be here.
I believe I could be wrong. I think that protective order was done through the criminal court. I'm not sure. Was it your court? I may be wrong about that, Your Honor.
And it is, the emergency protective order is through the criminal case.
Well, why is there an FM cause number?
Because I think she filed her own protective order. But
Okay.
I'll let her speak.
So you don't have temporary.
Yes, if I could have a moment, Your Honor, if I could explain the situation. I'd like to clarify. We are applying for a 2-year protective order at this cause. And that is why we had to file it in this separate protective order case.
Okay, but hold on, before you do that, Miss Jen, does your client I want your client to know what we're doing here. So do I need Mr. Hakeem to explain that to her before we?
Yes, please. If you would please do that, sir.
That because the licensed interpreter that was procured by the court administration's office is sick, you're filling in, but you're not licensed. The other side doesn't agree to proceed without a licensed interpreter. We are going to look for a licensed Arabic interpreter. If we can't find one, we're going to have to reset this hearing.
And Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
We are requesting to be on standby today. I would like to speak with the AFSSA and see if they can provide a licensed court interpreter. I'm currently in conversation with them. They might have somebody to be available. I would still like this hearing, Your Honor.
Well, again, if we can find an interpreter, I'm happy to go forward with this hearing. That's so the only question is, do you all just want to turn off your camera, or does everybody want to log off? And then we can communicate through my judicial executive assistant as to
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to stay on the Zoom and just turn the camera off, not to log off. We would like to leave the Zoom running because currently, right now, I'm talking to them. They might have somebody available fairly soon.
I'm okay with that, Your Honor. I could just turn my camera off.
Then we're on standby. And after Mr. Hakeem,
assumption that the parents of the children as joint managing conservatorship is rebutted, because in the best interest of the children, the finding of a history of family violence of the parents of that child removes that presumption. And that is that section B. And in this case, family violence has occurred in the previous 2 years before this divorce. And Ms. Assad has a protective order against the father, Mr. Abusin, and it's for his pending criminal case of family violence that he had committed on January 13th of 2024. So we believe that it is in the best interest of the children for Ms. Assad to be appointed sole managing conservator of the children and have the exclusive right in accordance with Texas Family Code Section 153.132. We are also requesting that Mr. Abusin be appointed possessory conservator of the children. We are requesting that Ms. Assad also have the exclusive right to select the children's primary residence of within Travis County, Texas, and the contiguous counties surrounding that, and the exclusive right to enroll the children in schooling. And for possession and access, we're requesting that Mr. Abusin have the possession and access of the children according to the standard possession order, with the understanding that due to the children's ages and their wishes, we also request to add the teen clause along with the standard possession order. We are also requesting that the court confer with the oldest 3 children, that is Rim, Hassam, and Akram, in regards to the possession and access. We are also requesting that Mr. Abu Ghasim pay child support based on the child support guidelines The number that the calculation comes up to is $1,023.30 per month. We are also requesting that Mr. Abu Basim be ordered to pay cash medical support because the children are receiving Medicaid under the government, and so we're asking the father to pay the medical support to the state. We are also requesting that both parties have the responsibility to pay 50% of unreimbursed medical and dental care expenses. We're requesting both parties to communicate with each other through app close and any issues regarding the children. In regards to property issues, we are requesting that Ms. Assad have temporary exclusive access to the marital residence, and while this divorce is pending, we are also requesting that Mr. Abu Ghasim should continue to pay all of the bills for the marital residence while the pendency of this divorce case. We are also requesting that Mrs. Assad have sole and management over the 2017 Toyota Sienna and the 2011 Toyota RAV4. And then in addition, our last issue, which is most critical, is due to the family violence of ongoing fears and concerns. We are requesting the approval of Mrs. Assad's request for a 2-year protective order. She does currently have the emergency order in place that will expire on February 9th of 2025.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Ms. Greenwood.
Good morning, Your Honor. So we're here to ask for the protective order. My client is of the position, and he will testify as to the fact that there is no genuine threat of he made no genuine threat of substantial harm, or there's no fear of imminent harm. There's no bodily injury, assault, or sexual assault that occurred within the honestly during the marriage, and then for the protective order purposes within the past 2 years, and he will testify as to that. And as for the temporary order, and so my client asks that you not grant the protective order. As for the temporary orders, my client is asking that they be joint managing conservator. When it comes to joint managing conservator, when it comes to all the rights, my client has been very involved with the kids' education. And so he's not necessarily looking for exclusive, but that they continue to do that jointly, even though he's largely been making those decisions and carrying that out. And so he's asking to be joint managing conservator with his wife. And as for property, he's asking to, with a protective order, emergency protective order that's about to lift in 9 days, he's asking that both parties remain in joint possession of the property. And while you will learn through his testimony that they have actually been living in separate rooms for some time. And so they've are, so we'll testify that he'll most likely continue staying in the room that he was staying with the kids. And so as for property, he would like to be able to return to his property. He'll make sure that the insurance the kids are maintaining that insurance, that there be no child support if they remain in the household. And I just want to make sure I cover everything. Yes, so he'll continue doing that, and that there be no child support if they are, if they return back to if he returns back to the property.
Ms. Greenwood, I will hear the evidence, but when people are getting divorced, it is a very rare situation, especially when there has been an emergency protective order granted, that I would say people stay in the same house.
Yeah.
So you might want to think about that.
I know, Your Honor. I just have to make sure I put what my client is asking for, just to make sure that's on the record. And then as for him recovering paying because I believe they're asking for him to pay the mortgage and child support, and his finances wouldn't be able to cover all those things. The opposing party, it does work, and so he wouldn't be able to maintain all those things. And he's currently living with his brother and he plans to also pay his brother money, and he will testify as to that. So he wouldn't be able to cover all those things, mortgage, and he's covering all the bills within the house right now, including the mortgage and paying for his brother and all those things. And so he would not be able to cover all those things, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Do both of you have proposed support decisions in the box?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Jen, you have one as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
And both PDIs and PSD is in there.
Thank you. Ms. Jen, you may call your first witness.
Okay, I'd like to call Mrs. Saad as my first.
بشرى السيد.
What is your relationship with Mr. Abu Ghassi?
شو هي العلاقة تبعك أنت وجوزك؟ زوجي. He is my husband.
How many children do you have, and what are their ages?
I have 4 kids. استني. Reem, 17 years old. Hussam, 15 years old. Akram, 12 years old. Adil is 10 years old. أيوة.
Is it correct that you currently have an emergency protective order?
Yes.
And when does that emergency protective order expire?
And when
It will be over or expired on February the 9th.
when did you get that? When did you obtain the emergency protective order?
The first month was January on the 9th.
Can you describe the most recent incident of violence or abuse by Mr.
Yeah, we had a fight on the 7th December. Sunday, and he started saying bad words, and I was afraid of him, so I called the police. And I called the police.
Okay, have there ever been any other incidents of violence or abuse by Mr. Abubasin in the past?
Yes.
Can you please provide some specific examples?
On August 8th, on the 20th, I had some argument between me and the kids. وبعدين he was screaming at me at the children, and he was drunk at that time, alcohol. And I called the police. That's it.
How often does that kind of situation happen?
Approximately, it happened every week, once a week, especially on the weekend, on a Friday and Saturday.
Can you please tell us what happened in January of 2024?
Stanley, I had a fight between me and him, and he was abusive, violent.
When you say abusive and violent, can you please be more specific?
Stanley, in the morning at that time or at that date, I had some arguments since that morning with him. And I told him to leave the bedroom because he was in the bedroom. I don't want him to be with me at the same room. After that, he left, and I stayed all day sitting there. And after that, all day, he was drinking alcohol all the day. And at the end of the day, he came toward me, and I was inside that room. And he started telling me bad words. And he was very angry and nervous, and he was hitting the door. And at that time, I had some fork with me, the one that we eat with. And I told him, if you don't leave me alone and get away from me, I will hurt you with the fork. And just to scare him so he can leave. And he, at that time, he brought a knife from the kitchen, and he said, go ahead and hit me with this one is better. And after that, I took the knife and I returned it to the kitchen. And he followed me to the kitchen. And he was holding my hand, and he wanted me to hold the knife by force. And, and he was hitting me, and I was trying to take the knife away from him, but he hit me. And also I also hit him because I was defending myself. After that, I called Hussam, my son, to help me. And at the last minute, I was going to call the police. And at that time, I don't want to have any problem, and I don't want to get him away from my kids, and I don't want my kids to be, away from each other. So I did not do anything, and that's it.
Mrs. Said, I want to show you something. It's an exhibit. I'm going to open it up. It's petitioner's 10. Can you please describe what we're looking at right now?
This is my picture when he hit me at that time.
Okay, did you edit or crop or modify this picture in any way?
No, I did not do anything.
Your Honor, I would like to admit petitioner's 10 as an exhibit.
Any objection? Ms. Greenwood, any objection?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, no objection, Your Honor.
Petitioner's 10 is admitted. For me, were these when these were taken?
On January 13, in 2024, 2024.
Thank you.
Saad, would you please describe what we're looking at now at petitioner's 11?
This is the video. He was talking to me and the kids, and he was threatening and cussing.
When did you film this? When was that?
August 20th, 2024.
Did you modify or edit or alter this video in any way?
No, I did not.
And I would like to move to admit P11, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
P11 is admitted.
Your Honor, are you able to play this video on your end?
Well, not while you have it up like that. Can you not play it, Ms. Den?
Good, but I'm not sure about the audio because I'm deaf. I don't use the audio on my system. I turn off the audio. So I'm not sure that the audio would transmit.
Well, why don't we try it?
Are you able to hear the audio?
Phoenix Smile audio.
No, so unshare your screen. Let me see if I can share mine.
My computer is not set to do that. Thank you.
I may
not-
be able to play it, Your Honor. Hold on. Well, we could both try.
Okay, well, if you can try my screen, would go ahead.
تفهمي
والله العظيم تفهميه عايزاه ما عايزاه تفهميه
الآن
ما اتكلم انا ما اتكلم he comes to us
هو بغي غير هو
but he doesn't want to let us talk to him
Look what he do.
I know he just comes in here ruining everything he goes
Okay, you can unshare my screen, Wood. Thank you.
فينك ترجعي
Thank you.
شكرا.
So, next, Mrs. Saad, could you please tell me more about what we just saw on that video?
And he was screaming at me and he was screaming at the children.
Since Mr. Abusin moved out of the house because of the protective order, how are things at home now?
He is not at the house.
I'm not sure if my question was clear. I would like to ask, so ever since that he is out of the house because of that emergency protective order, he has moved out. Now, how are things in your house now?
Yeah, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better mentally.
How have Mr. Abu Hussein's actions affected you physically and emotionally for your well-being?
Yes, I was hurt emotionally because all these problems that he causing. I have a depression and I am worried all the time. وبعدين? And I had a nervous breakdown, nerves. And because every time he scream. And at the moment, I am taking some medication for the nerves and for the depression. Yes. Yes.
Are you also seeing a therapist and getting services?
Okay, I went only one time, and because I don't have a medical insurance, I just stopped. I just went one time, but I'm taking the medication.
Are you afraid of Mr. Abugasim? And if so, why are you afraid?
Yes, I am very scared because I don't feel safe with him. And I don't feel calm at all. Because when he was there, I always go to the room and lock the door. I don't want to see him.
Has Mr. Abugasim made any threats towards you?
Yes, every time he threatened to divorce me, and he always hurt me verbally. Fishitani?
Has Mr. Abugasim contacted or attempted to contact you after any incidents of abuse?
He after he abused me, he come back and talk to me as if nothing is going on or nothing happened, and he does not even ask for forgiveness or anything.
Have there been any violations of the emergency protective order? And if yes, what happened?
Yes, he did something wrong against the protective order. Yes, he violated the protective order, went back to my job, and he picked up my car without my knowledge, and he took it. And he took it for like 3 hours or so. At that time, I just had to call the police. Yeah, because he did not tell me in advance, and he did not let me know that he's going to take the car. كيف يعني? And he also sent me some emails. And he asked me to send him the W-2 for the tax. And he asked me to pay his the hospital and the insurance with.
Did he go to your workplace and take the car? When did that happen?
When he took the car, when he picked up the car?
Yes, please. What was the date? Around when?
هو تاريخ شو هو؟ 23rd 2025 around 11 o'clock.
Why do you believe that a 2-year protective order is necessary in your case?
Because Because I don't feel with him safe. I don't feel safe with him at all, and also I feel nervous when he's around the house. That's why I'm asking for protective order.
Has he ever harassed you, stalked you, followed you?
Yes. Yes.
Can you tell us more about that when he was stalking you, that part?
Yeah, he at work. Yeah, I noticed that he was following me to my job on the 5th of January. Yesterday, he also followed me to my parents' house. And one time he was at the house and he followed me, and I went to a coffee shop and I saw him following me.
What are you afraid that might happen if the protective order is not granted?
Yes. I'm afraid to be the victim later on if this thing did not happen. Because there's a lot of problem from the past also.
Okay, I am showing petitioners 4. Could you please tell me what we're looking at, Mrs. Saad?
This is a protective order.
I'd like to move to admit petitioners 4.
Objection hearsay, Your Honor.
I would like to.
Did I interrupt? Did I?
Is Ms. Den, is this a certified copy?
عم تقول لي انه
No,
هي
Your Honor.
هل هي مصدقة ولا لا؟
The objection is the same.
ما بيصير تقدمها.
Thank you. Is it correct that you had asked you're asking the court to appoint you the sole managing conservator and Mr. Albagassin be the possessory conservator?
Yes.
Why do you think that is in the best interest of the children?
I want the kids to be with me. Because I'm the one who take care of their school.
Okay, is it correct that you are asking the court to have the exclusive right to designate the primary residence of the children and to enroll the children in school?
Yes.
Why is it important for you to have the exclusive right to be able to enroll the children in school?
Yes, because I'm the one who take care of the kids, and also he have a protective order, and I'm the one who live with the kids. And he always threatened them that they will take him away from that school and change their school, but they are very comfortable in the first school.
What is your educational background?
High school diploma.
Are you currently working?
هل أنت عم تشتغلي هلا الآن؟ Yes.
Where are you employed and what is your job title?
روتكس فيروتكس وشو بتعملي؟ شو هي؟ technician at Veritex. Test technician at Veritex.
I'm going to share my screen and show petitioner 6. This is Saad. What are we looking at?
This is my pay stub check for every 2 weeks.
How much do you earn from your job?
A year.
Yes, however you would like to explain it.
شو قد بتطلع بالسنة؟ 35,000.
I'd like to move to admit Exhibit 6 and 7. Both are Mrs. Saad's pay stubs.
قال بدنا نطلع على الصورة رقم 5 و7.
No objection, Your Honor.
P6 and P7 are admitted.
Saad, what are we looking at now? This is petitioner's 8.
Issue. This is my W-2 from work.
I move to accept P8 and P9. Both are W-2 forms.
No
هي عم
objection, Your Honor.
تسأل يعني
P8 and P9 are admitted.
Correct that you are asking the court to order Mr. Abusin to have possession and access to the children based on the standard possession order, along with the teen clause added.
هلا انت بدك يعني تقبلي انه يشوف الاولاد حسب القانون وانت اللي تكون هي. Yes.
Why do you think that it is in the best interest of the children to have the teen clause?
Yes, I respect my children's opinion, and my children are grown up, and I really respect their opinion. And That's why.
Is it correct that you're asking the court to confer with the children in regards to possession and access? And if so, why?
Yes. Yes, because he is the father of the children. They must see their father, and I agree with the court.
Is it correct that you're asking the court to order Mr. Abu to pay child support based on child support guidelines, which is $1,023.30?
Yes.
Why are you asking for child support?
Yes, because I'm by myself. I have 4 children, and the expenses too high for the children. He had to help me with the children, and my income is low. It's not too much. These are the expenses.
Okay, based on your current expenses?
This is my monthly expenses.
I'll move to admit P2.
No objection, Your Honor.
P2 is admitted.
بدهم يدخلوها دخلت لورا دخلوها بالفايل.
Ms. Assad, do you agree that this PSD that we're looking at shows your current expenses and the total expenses are $2,856 a month?
Yes.
And now we're looking at P3. Ms. Assad, what is this?
These are the expenses. Same form.
No, it is not the same form. This is to include the if the court orders you to pay for everything for the house, that would be what these expenses would be. This is that form, correct?
Yes. اعملي لها تشارج.
Like to admit P3, please?
عم تقول هي بدها
No
تدخل
objection, Your Honor.
P3 is admitted.
So, Ms. Assad, if you were ordered to pay for everything for the house, your estimated expenses would be about $4,566 a month. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Hold on one second. Mr. Abu Qasim is raising his hand. Why don't
Yes, ma'am, if you allow
allow what? What do you need?
to say something. The translator.
No.
Not yet, not yet.
Okay. Okay. Say it yes.
Sorry, Your Honor.
All right.
Do the children have health insurance and dental insurance coverage?
Your Honor, I have to call her back. We got disconnected.
It looks like
she's on the line. She's on the. Hold on a second. Just, at the moment, they don't have, but it will be covered. The insurance will be covering all that in the month 3, which is March. I just applied for Medicaid.
Okay. Is it correct that you're asking the court to pay your husband for him to pay cash medical support for the Medicaid coverage for the children?
Yes.
And is it correct that you're asking the court to order you and your husband to each pay 50% of unreimbursed health and dental expenses?
Yes, yes.
And is it correct that you're asking the court to order both parties to use app close for all communication in regards to the children?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Is it correct that you're asking the court to award you the temporary and exclusive use of the marital residence while the divorce is pending?
Yes.
And why is that?
ولماذا ذلك? Because the kids are very happy and relaxed in this house. I don't want to change the kids' atmosphere. And I don't have any room or any place to go to with 4 children.
As you know, Mr. Augustine is asking to move back into the house. Do you have any concerns about that?
Yes, I have. I oppose that. I don't agree.
Why?
Because I cannot live with him at the same house.
Is it correct that you're asking the court to order Mr. Augustine to continue to pay all of the bills of the marital residence during the pendency of this divorce case?
Yes.
And why is that?
ولماذا ذلك? Because there's a lot of bills and I don't have enough money. I don't make much money. And I have a loan, and I have to pay for my car also.
Is it correct that you're asking the court to award you the temporary exclusive use of the 2017 Toyota Sienna and the 2011 Toyota RAV4?
Yes. Yes.
And why is that?
Done. Yes, ma'am.
And my question was, why are you asking for that?
لماذا تسألي؟ لماذا ذلك؟ Okay, استني. One for my daughter because she go and drive that car, and the other one is my car where I can go and pick up and drop the kids from schools.
Okay, I have no further questions. I pass the witness.
It's just before noon, but I need to ask Ms. Assad, do you have a piece of paper that you have your answers written down on? Are you reading from something when you answer?
You know, I sometimes I just prepare just so I don't forget the dates.
Okay, well, we're going to break for lunch, but you're not supposed to have pieces of paper you read from. So I want them when Ms. Greenwood will cross-examine you after lunch, and I want you to put this away.
It's okay, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I have so we're going to be on break. I have a couple of very short, I hope, motions to enter at 1:30, but I would like you all to be back at 1:30. If I have to take up other matters, I'll just ask you to turn off your camera while I take this up.
Your Honor, she can leave now, and I can leave.
You all can either turn off your cameras or you can log off and log back in at 1:30. Okay. And at lunch, I think, am I correct, Ms. Din, you had passed the witness, correct?
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Greenwood, do you have cross-examination?
I do, Your Honor, but before I go into my questions, I actually wanted to do a quick approach to the bench. I don't know how that would work on Zoom. With the opposing counsel, my client raised something and I wanted to address it, but on the I don't know how I could do that really quickly with you and the opposing counsel.
Well, are you saying you want a bench conference? You don't want it in the open Zoom courtroom?
Exactly. Yes, Your Honor. How would I be able to do that?
Well, Ms. Din, are you amenable to doing that? Having a bench conference?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Ms. Chambers to give us a breakout room, and I'll need Ms. Young, do you need one of Ms. Din's interpreters to come with us? Is it going to be Ms. Young or Ms. Barrett? Both? Okay. Okay. We'll all get an invite to go into a breakout room as soon as Ms. Chambers gets that done.
Thank you, Your Honor. It will be sure. Thank you.
Judge, do you guys need me in there?
Oh, I guess we do. You're right.
Okay.
Yes, primo. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. There you go. I needed Miss Midway and I need the respondent to have their camera on.
بدك تخلي الكاميرا تبعك.
Mr. Abdul, put your video on.
Yeah, حط الكاميرا تبعك.
All right.
She had, yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor. She have her video on.
She's the petitioner, not the respondent. We weren't talking to her. Ms. Midway, do you have a headset? Understand that there's the petitioner's having some problems because she hears the English is through your phone, even if she has the volumes turned off her computer. So do you have a headset you could put on or earbuds or something?
I actually, I have many, but I don't use it. Yeah, I don't know where they're at right now.
Okay.
I think, Your Honor, she told me that because she's close to the computer, that's why she has some noise in her, in the computer.
Well, maybe she should turn the volume off her computer.
Yeah. عم بتقول هي لازم توطي الصوت تبع الكمبيوتر تبعك، بدك توطيه لتحت، بدك تخفي الصوت، يعني تخفي الصوت. ايه وبدك حطيتيه على انه ما بيسمعوا. Yeah, she already turned that off, Your Honor.
All right. And all right, Miss Midway, I need to reiterate that I need you to translate word for word verbatim and not make any comments or say anything to either witness or anyone you're translating for other than the questions and repeating the answers. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, this is what I do all my life. I've been here 46 years, and yeah, this is what I do.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Greenwood, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Assad, good afternoon. Have you, you've been married to the respondent for since 2006, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes. And over the course of the marriage, have you guys had any disagreements?
Yes, we have a disagreement all this period.
Okay. And how do you guys handle disagreements? How do you guys handle the disagreements?
I do not understand what you're talking about.
When you and your husband have a disagreement, how do you resolve that disagreement? How do you address that disagreement?
Yeah, Stanley. All this time, all this agreement does not be solved. I cannot solve it. It does not get solved.
Okay. All right. When you have a disagreement,
because he always tell me that's it. He doesn't want to understand.
okay. So okay, let me ask this better. Do you guys talk about what's going on?
Stanley. No, we do not talk or discuss, because every time we talk and discuss, he punish me.
Okay. When you guys talk,
sorry, should I continue? She's asking.
Does she have more to say?
في عندك أشياء تانية بدك تقوليها؟ Yes, every time we have this agreement, we talk, we don't talk, and then we don't talk for a while, and then he came back as if nothing is going on or nothing happened.
Okay. And then would you guys talk only at the house, or would you guys talk in other places? At other
yes, we cannot have a solution to this argument. Sometimes we talk at the house.
Okay. Okay. Would you talk outside the house? Would you talk at her job? Would you talk at his job? Would they talk out?
Sometimes we talk in the garden, sometime.
Okay. Is that still at home?
No, it's not at the house. It's at the park, outside.
Okay. Have they ever discussed any disagreements at their, outside of their workplaces, their respective workplaces?
You mean outside the workplaces?
Yes, like at their workplace, outside of the workplace.
Stanley. Yes, one time I went to discuss with him around his workplace, but he got upset and he did not like it.
Okay. All right.
Because I did not tell him in ahead of time.
Okay. Thank you. During the marriage, has she ever yelled at her husband?
Can you please repeat the question?
During the marriage, has she ever yelled at her husband?
She? Or
yes.
You're talking to her?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes, it depends because he caused it.
So the answer is yes, she's yelled at her husband?
Yes, because he caused the problem.
Has she ever pushed her husband before?
Yes.
Okay. Has she ever hit her husband?
Yes.
Okay. Has she ever threatened her husband?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Did she ever threaten her husband when it comes to divorce? Did she ever threaten him with filing a divorce?
He is the one who threatened me to divorce me, not myself.
Okay. And did she file for divorce?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. And is it her testimony that she brought up the conversation? Is she the one did she initiate the conversation for divorce?
Yes.
And has she ever
Objection. I have a question, actually.
Hold on. Do I hear an objection from Ms. Den?
Yes, it is an objection. Why is counsel referring to my client in the third person? It should say you, and you're saying she, and it's confusing me.
That's not a legal objection. I understood what she's saying. But if you want to, it might be.
Correct that. I'll fix that, Your Honor. My apologies. Have you ever slapped yourself in the face before?
No.
No. Okay. Has she ever pulled her own hair?
هل انت شديتي شعرك؟ No.
Okay. On the January 13th, 2024 incident, were any witnesses present for that incident, alleged incident?
Hussam was there, and he's the witness for the violence that happened.
And is the violence where she said that my client slapped her? Is that the violence that she allegedly slapped her? Is that what she saw? Is that what her son witnessed?
No, he did not see, but I'm the one who called him at that time.
So there were no witnesses to that slap other than alleged slap other than her and my client. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. And the basis of the protective order is the protective order, the emergency protective order is based on that January 13th incident, correct?
Yes. Yes.
She mentioned having taking medications. When did she start taking those medications?
Since the month 8, which is August. Maybe 9, the month 9, which is September.
Of this year or last year? I'm sorry, not of this year. My apologies. We're in January, we're in February. What year did she start taking that medication?
You know, I started this medication 2 years ago and I stopped it, and then I started taking it last year.
Okay. So she started taking it just for the record in 2023?
Yes.
Has she ever broken anything in the household in anger before? Has she ever broken anything in the household out of anger?
Yes.
Okay. When it comes to the children, she mentioned she takes care of the children. What are
إنه أنتِ تهتمي بالأولاد.
Okay. All right. So on a daily like what are the things that she does with the children? What's her daily activities with the children?
Every day?
Just one day, just an example of what she does with the children, like for school. Like yeah.
Yeah, after school I take him to the games.
Okay.
استني. On the weekend I take him to the park, to the place where they play, and to a restaurant.
Does she drop them off to school? At school?
And also to the park. I'm sorry, she was talking still.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
كمان it's okay. كمان, you know, also I take him to the parks.
I'm saying, does she drop them off school in the morning?
هل انت يعني انت اللي بتوصليهم على المدرسة بترجعهم المدرسة ولا No, my daughter dropped them and I pick them up.
Okay. And she picks them up after work?
بتاخديهم? Yes.
Okay. And who enrolled the children into school?
مين اللي هو يعني يسجل الولاد بالمدارس؟ He is the one who enrolled them at school.
Okay. And how she said the kids are doing good. Is it still her statement that the kids are doing great in school right now?
لا يعني درجاتهم بالمدرسة مناحين هلا. Yes.
Okay. There's no. Okay.
Yes.
When it comes to disciplining the children, how does she go about disciplining does she discipline the children?
Yeah. Yes.
And how does she discipline the children?
وكيف أنت بتأدبيهم للأولاد؟ With words.
Okay.
And give them directions.
Okay. Okay. Does she ever deny them like using their phones or anything?
No, I don't forbid them.
Okay. Okay, sorry. My bad. Does she okay, I won't ask that question. Thank you. All right. At any point, has she ever removed any of the kids out of school without letting her husband know?
No, I do not understand the question. I don't know what do you mean.
Has she ever unenrolled the kids out of a school and placed them in a different school without letting her husband know?
Yes, it happened to my daughter because I took her from school and I put her in another school. I enrolled her in another school.
And she didn't let her husband know, correct?
Yes, correct. Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right. Has she mentioned that she has her high school diploma. Did she get that high school diploma here in the US?
No, in Morocco.
Okay. And so is it her statement that she has what would be equivalent to a high school diploma here?
No. No.
So she doesn't have a high school diploma?
So انت ما عندك يعني الهاي school diploma in Morocco only. In my country.
Okay. Maybe I'll make this what grade level did she get up in Morocco?
11th. He did not let me finish my school at that time.
Who did not let her finish school?
Him. He is the one who does not want me to continue in that school and leave that time.
Just so I'm understanding, is she saying that her husband prevented her from graduating, getting her diploma? Is that what you're?
No, because he wanted to move to his city or his hometown. That's why I left the school.
You mentioned that recently my client came and took the car. Did he give you notice regarding that he was going to take the car?
No, he did not tell me that he want to pick up the car.
And so it's her on record. He never sent her a message, text her, no form of communication?
No.
Okay. And did he know where he took? Did she know where?
Sorry. She said, I did not know.
Okay. Does she know where he took the car?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Did they ever discuss did they ever discuss trading in that car?
Yes, we talked 2 months before that.
Okay. Okay. The cops have been called to her property, their marital residence prior to the January incident this year, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And they were when they were called, was her husband ever arrested?
No, when the police came to the house, they did not arrest him.
Okay. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Ms. Den, do you have any further direct examination?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I just want to clarify a few things. So, Ms. Assad, you mentioned that you did yell, hit, push, threaten your husband. I'd like to give you the opportunity to explain from your perspective what happened. Why did that happen?
And the problem is he when he talked to me and I get I get nervous and I have nervous breakdown when he come to me. Ooh. Because he always try to tell me something bad and he minimize my value. And he humiliates me. He always turned the table on me and he said, I'm causing the problem.
Ms. Assad, would you please tell you what the treatment is that you're receiving for mental health?
You mean because you're talking about the mental health and what I am taking?
Yes.
أيوة شو? Yes.
Hold on, I need to ask you, Ms. Hold on. Ms. Assad, are you reading from a document?
عم تقول لك, Your Honor, can you please repeat? Is the question for her or for the attorney?
For her, I want to
Yes.
know if she is reading from a document. It looks like she's reading before she answers.
أنا عم يعني عم بتلاحظ القضية إنه أنت عم تقري بورقة. هل أنت عم تقري بورقة؟ Yes, Your Honor, it's just the name of the medication.
Okay, that's not allowed. If you don't remember the name, you say that. You don't get to read from documents for your
Yeah.
testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Do you recall the name of the medication from the top of your head?
No, I don't remember it. Yeah, but I know just a little bit about the name, but I don't remember it.
Sure, no problem.
This
So
medication helped me relax. I'm sorry. This medication helped me relax. And it calmed my nerves because I always live in it with the problems with him and on my nerve.
Okay, we're going to move on to my next question.
بدنا نرجع
You
نسأل سؤال
admit that you had broken things in the house.
قلتي
Tell me
إنه
more about that.
You know, because of him, I broke stuff in the house because he always touched my nerve. And he humiliates me. And he turned the table on me as if I'm the one who's doing it.
As you heard from the opposing counsel's opening statement, your husband is asking to stay in the house, but just in a separate room. Do you think that's a reasonable request?
You know, I do not accept living at the same house. I do not agree with this.
Do you have any concerns if it continued tension or continued breaking things in the house if he's living there again?
Yes, yes. I cannot see him in the house.
Okay, and you admitted that you did withdraw your daughter from school and put her into a different school without telling your husband. I want to give you the opportunity to explain why you did that.
Yes, because he had a problem with his daughter, and he had a case, and she wanted to just move from that school because she liked to take college classes, and at that school there is no college classes at that school. Every college classes.
Why didn't you tell your husband?
Because I had a problem with him. That's why I could not talk to him. Because he always threatened that he will change the school for the kids and he will not leave them at the same school.
Is it correct that the police have been called to the house? You already said that. How many times have the police come to the house? Can you give me an estimate of the number?
Yes, they came twice because I called. And the third time, my daughter called the police. She's the one who called.
How many times have you called the police after he has moved out of the house?
Just one time when he picked up the car from work.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
No redirect at this moment. Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. Ma'am, where did the children go to school?
Nice School and Harmony School.
Are those public schools or charter schools?
Yes, they are charter schools.
Okay, thank you. And how long have the children gone to those schools?
Nice 2 years and Harmony maybe 10 years.
Okay. I want to be clear. You introduced some pictures showing some bruising on your cheek. And we've talked about a date of January 24, but also a date of a court order in January of 25, correct?
24. I'm waiting for her, Your Honor.
When were the pictures taken showing the bruising on your cheek, on your face?
In January 24.
Okay, I see that in my notes now. And then what happened in January of 25 that led you to get an emergency protective order?
In 7th December, I called the police. And when they came, I talked to them about the problem or the incident that happened a year before.
And I see that you filed the petition for divorce in August of 2024.
Yes.
Were you and your husband living together in the house from August of 2024 until January of 2025?
Yes, we were living at the same house.
Thank you. Does anyone have any more questions for this witness in light of my questions? Ms. Den.
Yes, I do have one more question. Ms.
Okay,
Assad, why did you decide not to pursue a protective order earlier or sooner? Why was it 1 year after?
Stanley, because before I care about my kids and I do not want them to be away from their dad. And I was afraid that we will have more problem. This is what happened.
When you filed in August of 2024, did you try to set a hearing as a pro se applicant?
Yes, by myself.
And what happened to those hearings that you tried to set before I came in?
I was trying to reset all the hearing because I did not have an attorney who defend me because I have to divorce. That's why.
No further questions. Thank you.
Mafias anytime.
Ms. Greenwood, do you have any further questions?
I don't, Your Honor.
I do have one more. Ms. Assad, you've asked me to award you 2 cars, a 2017 Sienna and a 2011 RAV4. Does your husband have another car?
Yes, he has.
What kind of car does he have?
A Toyota.
Okay, thank you.
Shukran.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Den, do you have your next witness?
I rest.
Thank you. Ms. Greenwood.
All right, Your Honor. I'd like to call Mr. Abul Qasim.
Okay, let me ask the interpreter. Yeah, thank you. You can mute yourself so that you can be interpreting for the petitioner, but we don't need to hear it. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. I already did. Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Abul Qasim, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn?
And currently, where are you residing?
With my brother.
Okay. And okay, your brother. Okay. Are you still in the city of the Travis County?
Yeah, Austin, Travis County. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And where did you used to live with your wife?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And when did you stop living? What date did you stop? What date did you and your wife stop residing in the same residence?
Oh, it's January 8th, 2025, after the arrest.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just get back a little bit more into the biographical information. Where do you work?
I work for Internal Revenue, IRS.
Okay, and how long have you had that job?
11 years.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. You work for who?
The IRS, Internal Revenue Service.
Thank you.
All right. And have you and you work and have you and your wife always resided in the state of Texas?
Most of our living in the United States, yes.
Okay. Prior to Texas, where did you guys live?
We lived in California and a little bit in North Carolina.
Okay. And has you and your wife always worked during the marriage? Has your wife always worked during the marriage?
No, she never worked. She just started working 2 years and 9 months, but she split that. I mean, she break her work. Sometimes she worked 9 months and then she quit and then she come back and then now she's working.
Okay.
Years and 9 months or 10 months, I think. 2 and 10 months, yeah.
And have you largely supported her? Have you supported that she goes to work?
Yeah, I supported her to go to work. I fill the paper with her and everything, usually for everything she needs.
Okay. Okay. And then what about schooling, have you supported her? She mentioned something, have you supported her like pursuing and advancing her education?
Yes, I talked to her about education. I value the education, and she was in Morocco at that time. And I told her, I'm going to support you until you finish what you want. Even when we came to United States in California, I was supporting her. I have maybe my kid is less than 1 year. He stayed with me, and I let her go to school to learn English and everything. And even in Austin here, I encourage her and I fill every paper with her. I work with her, the homework for math and everything. When she go to the SEC, one of the community college, to get her GED. That's what happened. But she dropped every time by herself. She doesn't like that.
So most of the marriage would you say your wife was a stay-at-home mom?
Yeah, she stayed home most of the marriage, except those 2 years and 10 months.
Got it. And so other than the IRS, do you have any other financial, like any other source of financial income?
No.
Okay. And you mentioned that you work for IRS. Hold on. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Okay. And is this document your W-2?
Correct.
And is this document your W-2? Is this your 2024 W-2?
Correct.
Okay. And as it states here, you earned $41,874.40. Does that reflect your wages?
The gross income, yes.
The gross income? Okay, got it. And all right. And so as it identifies here, you work for IRS. Is the information correct?
Hold on. Take that down because we're on YouTube. You sure you want your
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
documents?
Sorry, I forgot we're streaming. So sorry. I'll stop sharing.
But while you're doing that, can't find your stuff in Box. It's not uploaded.
I thought I put it. Did I put it in a respondents thing? I thought I did.
I don't see it.
I used the link.
Maybe Miss Primo can help us. I see her documents, not yours.
Okay, hold on.
Your Honor.
Judge, it looks like they're in, because
I
there's
do
two different.
that.
I may have put it in, Your Honor, I may have put it in because there are two different cases. I may have put in the one that's just for since the temporary orders, since we're doing both at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Judge, they are in the second folder.
The
They're in
5729.
the PO folder.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for helping me with that. Go ahead.
My apologies, Your Honor. Forgot there were two.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, ma'am.
All right, Your Honor, I'd like to admit that into evidence, P7. I'm sorry, R7, R-7.
Ms. Dunn, do you have any objection to R7, which is his 2024 W-2?
No objections.
R7 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And with you largely
Ms. Dunn is saying something. Hold on.
Your Honor, I'm instructing the interpreters. I'm having a hard time following them. And so two different people talk very quickly one after another, and the interpreters have worked it out so that it'll be clear now.
Okay, because every time I see you talking, Ms. Dunn, I'm thinking you're trying to tell me something. So, all right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. And with your wife working, what financial responsibility do you bear in the marriage? So what bills do you pay? What bills are you responsible for paying?
While she working or before she working?
Currently.
Okay, currently I do the mortgage for the house and I pay the utilities, everything about the utilities, gas, power, internet, anything like that. I pay the HOH, the community fees. I pay the food, and I pay the other things that to maintain the house in general, like house maintenance, and I maintain the cars too, like changing the oil for the cars and any malfunctioning parts. I have to change it. All this I do that.
And since you've been out of the household, have you continued to make those payments?
Yes, I do the same payment and do the shopping for my kids and everything. except for changing the oil, the cars, the two cars there, the Toyota RAV and the Sienna, they need to be oil changed. I couldn't reach them after that day because I take it to the dealer. The time is tight, and we're talking about something. I put it back, and since then I couldn't reach it to do. But I communicate with my wife. It needs to be changed as soon as possible because the time is, beyond.
Okay. And you mentioned, was that, you heard your wife testimony before, was that when you went to her job and took the car for 3 hours? Is that what you're talking about when you were trying to you were trying to get the oil change?
No, it's not actually the oil change only because at that time when I took that car, it's a dire situation where the payment is past due, and I was talking to the lender and I'm talking to the dealer about what we can do about it, and I'm trying to reach my wife about these things, because she was talking before she's not gonna pay. She says she's gonna stop paying. That is before I leave the home, before the order. Monday, the 6th, January the January the 6th, 2025. She stated she's not gonna pay anymore for the car. The only thing she pay, that is a regular payment, is the car, which is 415, and that is what we agree on when we bought it like 10 months ago. I said to her, because I pay everything in the home, and you're making money and you don't pay nothing, you can pay the payment for the car, $415 a month. But she tried to opt out from that on January 6th, and she says she's not going to pay. She doesn't want this car unless I put it in her name. Then the payment passed due, and then I have to take with the dealer, and I want to respond even to her wishes to change this car or do something. That's why I take it for check the maintenance and evaluation of the car if we agree, so we can do something. If you agree.
Objection, narrative. Objection, narrative.
James, let's ask another question.
Your Honor. Okay. All right. So when it comes to the kids, has the when it comes to the kids, what are some of the things that when you were living in the home, what were some of the things that you were like, what were some of the things that you did for the kids in the household when you were living there?
Okay. That's in general what I've been doing for years.
Okay.
So I enrolled them in a school. I follow his school supplies. I follow his their grades, and I follow his conference with teachers. And in daily basis, I have to wake them up, especially the 10 years and 12 years, Adil and Akram. And even sometimes Hussam, most of the time Hussam too. I have to wake them early. Every day, I have to do that. And I make sure they have everything. If not, I have to find whatever they want. Like socks, shirt, sign this for me, do this until they go to work. And that has been for past years, like 4 or 5 years. And only this year, in August or later July 2024, when the new year start for the school, and our daughter, she has a license and she can drive, she starts to drive them in the morning. But I do wake them up. But before I drive them,
okay,
I drop them in the school in the morning. Nobody else.
Okay. So it's your testimony that for prior to your daughter having to start driving them to school, and that would be last August when your daughter started to take them to school?
2024, yeah.
Okay. All right.
When she started. Before that, before that, for the years past, in the morning, I have to drop them in the charter school, which is called NYOS, nice. And I drop them there at 7 o'clock, and I have to be in South Austin by 7:30 to catch my work. And it's very tension for years.
Got it. And then
narrative, objection, narrative.
Let's go on. Let's ask another question. Just answer the question you're asked, please.
Okay. All right. And so so when it comes, you mentioned that you attend PTA conferences. Does your wife attend those conferences too?
Not usually. That's what I do.
Does she help the children with their homework?
She has done that like at least we say 8 years ago, 7 years ago, she just sit beside sometimes. But like my children for 4 or 5 years ago, they don't do, mostly they don't do homework, except the youngest one, Adil. And the other, I think the curriculum is different and the way the teaching is different for the homework. And I've been talking about that a lot, but they don't have a lot of homework, but they have a project, and I make sure every time if there is any shortcoming, I have to talk to the school or the teacher about that, and I talk to my kids about it.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And then you heard your wife's testimony. She mentioned that the kids are doing great in school. Have you received any correspondence regarding the kids' behavior in school?
Unfortunately, for the past months when I'm out, and before that, even when I'm at home, many emails come regarding my 15 years old now, Hussam, concern two things: is behavior and academic, both.
Got it.
This is, and I have to respond. I have to talk with the school, and I have to talk with my child too.
Got it. And so, how did you receive this correspondence?
Through email.
Okay. And, Your Honor, may I share my screen?
May.
And one of them is
I object to this exhibit.
We haven't seen the exhibit yet, so how can I rule on it?
Okay.
And Mr. Sir, I need you not to speak until someone asks you a question, please.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And is this your email address right here?
Correct.
And then is this, do you recognize this email address?
Yes.
Okay. And who is this person that's emailing you? Oops.
Howell.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who's Howell?
He's a teacher there in the school. Nice.
Which school? Okay.
Your Honor, I object. This is hearsay.
Okay. Ms. Greenwood, this does appear to be hearsay. So we're not going to have him read from it. He's identified it, but any emails from a third person not in court is hearsay, so you can't admit that.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. All right. In that email, what were you from your knowledge, you were made aware of what's going on with your son in school?
Okay, for the email that I saw now is just, that is for Akram, the 12 years old. That's for drill, and he talk and break the rules, and they suspend him 2 days.
Okay.
Last Friday and Monday.
Okay.
And I communicate that to his mom. I took care of that. I mean, I talked to the teacher, the school, and I find a way to leave him with my brother at his home with his wife for Monday because he has a suspension.
Got it. So you ensured that someone will be able to watch your child since he got suspended from school?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. And okay. And then is that the only child that's having issues with school?
No, Hussam, the 15 years, I receive multiple emails.
So let me hold on. Okay. What are some of the issues that have been brought to your attention? Just give 2 issues recently that has been brought to your attention regarding the kids, regarding the child that you're talking about.
Behavior and academic. Academic, like, is not like doing well.
Okay. And when you informed Ms. Assad, what was her response in regards to the situation with the kids?
She doesn't respond to me at all. I send her everything.
Got it. Do you know if she went to the school? Do you have any knowledge of her going to the school or trying to talk to the teachers?
I have no knowledge about that.
Okay. Do you think it's in your child's best interest, your children's best interest, that Ms. Assad have the exclusive right to enroll the children?
No.
Okay, and why not?
Because she is not like involving in these things, and sometimes she doesn't understand the contents about what they're talking about. Even my kids. I mean, if we're talking about curriculum selection, things like that, she's not gonna know about these things.
Right. Okay. All right. When it comes to, so you mentioned you guys have lived in Austin for 11 years. Has any other family members lived with you all in
Yeah,
Austin? Mm-hmm.
yes, her father, her mom, and her brother.
Okay. And how long did they live with you for?
Her father, he lived with me like 7 years.
Okay.
Her mom and her brother, they lived with me like 4 years.
Okay. And when did they stop residing with you and your wife? And
December 2024.
24? Would that 24 being last year?
Yeah, December 2023. Sorry.
Okay, so December
December
2023.
2023. Yeah.
Okay. And so they are they also living, do they live in Travis County too, or do you know where they live?
Yeah, in Travis County. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And so when they were living with you all, did that cause were you responsible for everybody, like all those everybody while everyone was living with you? Were you
Yes.
responsible? Okay, so let me rephrase that. Were you responsible for taking care of them financially when they were living with you?
Mostly, yes.
Did that cause a financial strain?
Yes.
Is that why did you ask them to leave at some point in time?
Recently, I'm telling them what they need to pay, something that equal to what they use.
Okay. Did that cause a disagreement between you and your wife? You asking them to leave, did that cause a disagreement between you and your wife?
Not I'm asking them to leave, but things is start. They're starting to do something, and just they left after that.
Mm-hmm. All right. And so when they left in December of 2023, that leaves us to the January 13th, the incident that that we've been talking about, that the pictures were shown of. P11, you saw that picture. Do you know how Ms. Assad received those marks on her face?
Actually, no.
And we're all talking about the pictures from January P11, right? So January 13th, 2024. That day, was there an incident that happened that day?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened okay. I'm trying to make sure this is not a narrative. So, all right. Okay. Were you, so is it your statement that you did not, you don't know how Miss, your wife received those marks, correct?
No.
And you are not, are you responsible for those marks on her face?
No.
Okay. Have you and have you and your wife, do you guys have disagreements?
Yes.
And how do you guys handle those disagreements?
Usually talk.
Okay. And do you guys talk in the house? Where do you guys talk about? How do you talk in the house? Do you talk at work? Where do you guys discuss, kind of agreements?
We talk in the house and we talk outside.
Okay.
When it's like something we want to solve, we go outside.
Okay. Okay. All right. Is that your wife mentioned the garden? Is that where you guys go sometimes to the park?
We go, to the cafe. There is a cafe. She taking me there usually.
Okay. Have you ever stalked your wife?
No.
Have you ever followed your wife anywhere? Like in a car, like followed behind her in a car?
Because I don't understand. It's follow. I'm not follow. Sometimes the only incident that I went to see her to talk to her, and she crossed me, and she left. And then yes, I come back.
Your wife mentioned that. So, your wife mentioned that you have you ever threatened your wife with divorce?
Threatening with divorce?
Yeah, like I'm going to divorce you. Have you ever threatened your wife that you are going to divorce?
Okay, what I say, the expression that I say before, if we not agree, we need to divorce.
Got it. When did the discussions of divorce start? Do you recall?
For this divorce now,
Mm-hmm.
she started in December 2023.
Was that before or after her family left?
In the same time. She took me to the court at that time. She asked me to go to the court, and we went there to sign for. She went and signed to file a petition, and then it was a holiday. They say go and do it in online or something like that.
Got it. Okay. So you guys both went to court to try to file for divorce, and you said you signed some paperwork, but then, to your knowledge, nothing was filed.
Yeah, and that's her request. When I just accepted to leave my taking day off, and then I just went with her.
Okay. All right. When did you learn that she filed for divorce?
No, when she filed, I mean, the first thing, she sent me an email with like in July, end of July, I think, something like that, with like email, and it's just uncontested divorce. And then I figured out when I said no, I'm not gonna sign it. Then she said, if you didn't sign this, if you're not sign this, I'm just gonna go with my way. And I said, okay, I'm not say anything. You can go your way.
So she initially approached you with an uncontested divorce documents, and you said no. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because what she put there, I didn't agree with.
Got it. Okay. All right. And then you mentioned that, what did she say after that? Once you said you didn't, you wouldn't agree with it?
She said, if you didn't agree with that and you sign it, I'm gonna go my way and do it, and this is not gonna be good for you. And then she did that, I think, in August.
Okay.
And
when she said it will not be good for you, how did you feel about when she said that? Did you?
Because I felt that she just want to get me in trouble, something like that, and she started fueling my kids. Even this divorce, my daughter, she come and said, why you don't sign it? My daughter talking to me very inappropriate about I don't sign this paper and I'm supposed to sign it. And she came and backed her up for that.
So
when the tension started. Yeah.
So your wife has discussed this divorce with your kids?
With my daughter. And she filled that with her. And my daughter, she come and after she asked me, my daughter, she come and shout at me to sign it.
Got it. Okay. Has she involved, I know you said your daughter, has she involved any other kids in regards to trying to persuade you to divorce, to sign the divorce paperwork?
No, just my son Hussam. One time he talked to me about we're talking about something, and then I said, okay, when the divorce done, then it's okay. He said, why she want it? I said, okay, I'm
Objection. Hearsay.
Sustain.
So from your experience, your kids have, your eldest son have appealed to you regarding encouraging you to get a divorce?
My older son?
Your older son, yes.
So what about him? Does he appeal to me like to?
Yeah, he's trying to encourage you to get a divorce?
No, he just expressed his mom wishes. He said she won the divorce, just give it to her. And I said, okay, I'm gonna give it to her, but we have to agree on something. We have something to agree because we're talking about agreement at that time.
Do you think it's appropriate to be involving your children, any kids in regards to this personal thing that's happening in between you and your wife?
No.
After August, was there any more threats that or statements that your wife made regarding trying to get you towards signing any paperwork?
After August? Yeah. She continued until I arrested. She continued about talking about, you need to do this, you need to do this. And she talking about also like cars and things like that, put that in my name. And I just insist every time with her until January the 6th, 2025. At that day, Monday, I told her, okay, let us just agree and have somebody draft agreement for us. And you're going to get your divorce and we're going to get divorced and we're going to split whatever. And we see what we're going to do with the kids.
Yeah. Has your wife, go ahead. I'm listening. Sorry. Has your wife ever you mentioned that, she's been persuading it. At any point, has your wife ever threatened or demanded that you get out of the house before January 6th? Has your wife ever demanded that you get out the house?
Yes.
Okay.
She told me literally to go out of the house, go and live somewhere else. And then she said, "You're gonna leave it? You like it or no?" And she's starting every time she's starting to. I mean, she repeat these things.
Mhm. And was she making those statements last year?
Yeah, in 2024. I mean, it's not only one day. I mean, she's doing it like every time we talk to each other about agreement, about things. She want me to leave the house, and she talking about I need to pay everything and I leave the house even.
And then you were forced to leave the house on January 6th, correct?
Yeah, which I not expected at all.
Got it. Okay.
Miss Anne?
Hold on.
Yeah, I can, the owner give me 5 seconds. So,
What do you need? Do you need to take a break?
excuse me, yes, yeah, 5 seconds.
No, okay, well, we all need to take a break as the court reporter.
Okay.
3:06, let's be on break until 3:20. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. Mr. Abulgazim, the petitioner entered this video, and I would just like to, what were you saying in that video? Do you recall the video that was admitted into evidence where you were talking? Do you recall that video? All right, and it was played before this court. Do you remember that? What were you saying?
Hold on. The court reporter can't take a nod of the head, so I need you to answer verbally, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. And what were you saying in that video?
Talking to my daughter.
Mm-hmm. And what were you saying to your daughter?
I was talking literally about the truth, and I was using my index to talk like that, and I'm talking about the truth that she wants something to happen, which is the divorce.
Got it. So do you normally talk? Do you normally talk like with your finger, like pointing your finger? Is that
Yeah, that is my habit. I mean, when I talk with my index.
Okay, got it. And so you mentioned, so that video that was captured was your daughter, you and your daughter were discussing the divorce process?
Because as I told the court before or this, I mean, in this session now, I said she come and scream at me to sign.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of discussion is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I told her, you need that to happen. And that is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I said. And then I said to them, I don't want to talk. And at that time, I was leaving.
Got it. Okay. And just to confirm the court, prior to 2024, cops were cops ever called to your household?
No.
Okay. So the year that your wife, like, I want a divorce, is that when cops started to be called to your household?
The first time the cops called them.
Hold on. Let me ask the question again.
Mm-hmm.
The year that your wife initiated the divorce process, like started discussing divorce, and was that when the cops started to be called to your house?
Yes.
When you left the home when you were asked to leave the home or required to leave the home in January 6th last month, prior to that, were you and your wife still staying in the same bedroom?
No.
Okay. What room were you in?
I lived with my 12 years old and 10 years old in one room.
Okay, so and how long were you sharing that bedroom?
7 months.
And then prior to that,
Hold on, I didn't hear the answer. How long were you sharing the bedroom?
With my kids?
Yes.
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
Thank you.
From June until January 8th, 2025.
Okay. And was that in response to your wife?
Yes.
Did she ask you to leave the bedroom?
Yes.
Have you ever witnessed your right. Are you asking this court to appoint you joint managing conservators of your children?
Yes,
Okay. Do you think that it's in your best interest that you and your wife be able to make decisions for your children?
of course.
Okay. And it is best that you not be left out in any of the decision making?
I would say,
And it's best for you to not be left out of any of the decision making in regards to the children.
yes.
Okay. And you mentioned that even though you're no longer in the household, that you've been assisting with buying groceries for the kids, correct?
Correct.
And do you recall having a discussion with your wife through email on January 29th regarding the car?
January 29th. Yeah, recently, we just talking about tax and things, and then she sent me email. She said she's not gonna pay any car insurance, and she's not gonna pay the payment for the Sienna 2017. She's gonna stop paying that unless I put her in her name.
Can you give the name of that car again?
The Sienna 2000, Toyota Sienna 2017. She said unless I put that in her name, so I have to transfer everything in her name because it is in my name and in my credit.
Okay. And so if she were to not pay, that would negatively impact you, correct?
Yes.
Is that the first time she's threatened not to make a payment on the car?
No, this is the second time. She did the first time in January 6th.
And she mentioned that you have a vehicle, correct? And can you just provide to that court what that vehicle is that you drive?
I have a Toyota 4Runner 1999, and actually it's not working well. It's very old, and it is a separate community property.
Did you have that property before marriage?
No, it's a gift.
Okay.
For my brother.
In addition to, your wife is asking for child support and that you pay all the household bills in addition to child support. Are you financially able to support all the mortgage, the utilities, the groceries, and pay child support? Would you be able to financially afford that?
No, because I pay all these bills, and I have to pay now. I mean, I've been 1 month out. I have to pay also for my food and my rent because nobody give you something for free.
Got it.
That is also we have bills now coming from the emergency room for our 12 years old. An incident happened in January 10th, the day that I left the jail. He burned his 2 fingers, and I have to take him there. And now I got 2 bills of 511, 561, and 522. In addition, for $300 from the insurance card for my daughter, our daughter, for October and November. They asking for it, and all this is coming on me.
Got it. You mentioned that there's an outstanding medical bill for an injury that happened. Was it last month with the kid, with the child?
Yeah, it happened the day that I left the jail, when they released me on January 10th, 2025. And then I came and I stay here with my brother about 6 o'clock evening or 6:30. I was make sure my kids is okay. I call, and then my son, he start talking, and he's like in pain because he spilled noodles from the microwave in his tube.
Objection, hearsay.
Sustained.
So what do you, from your conversation what's your understanding of what happened to your son?
I just understood he burned his 2 fingers. Nobody at home, adults, to take care. I told my brother to go and pick him up, and then I took him to the emergency room, and then he received the treatment. And I have the report for that.
Okay. And in regards to health insurance, is your wife covered under health insurance?
She covered under me.
Yeah. How long has she been?
Hold on. You have health insurance?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, from my employer.
Does it cover your wife and your children?
It covered my wife
Why don't you cover the children?
because I'm not going to be able to, because they have a Medicaid before, and I cannot pay for all that.
When did you obtain health insurance for yourself and your wife?
11 years ago.
So for 11 years, you've not had your children covered by insurance?
Because the premium is high if I add them.
Wow. And Ms. Greenwood, you don't even have a budget form, do you?
No, I wasn't able to get it done in time, Your Honor. I apologize.
It's sure going to be hard for me to make rulings on all the financial issues.
I could have that ready for you. If you reserve, I can make sure you have that before the end of today, Your Honor.
I'm going to have it because I can't get a full picture. And I want to know how much he's paying for health insurance for himself and his wife.
Okay.
I'm not sure when the state finds out that he has employer provided health insurance, well, whether or not they're going to accept Medicaid and how much, I meant to ask Ms. Den, how much would I order him to pay for government provided health insurance? Probably I'm going to have to get the AG involved in this.
Yes, I believe it is $50. Cash medical support. It's always in the ballpark of $50.
It's not exactly $50, but all right, y'all, somebody should have brought me that information. That's, yeah.
Your Honor, I pass the witness at this moment.
Den.
Yes, I only have a couple of questions. I won't be long. Mr. Abugasim, if you had to stay with your brother and my client has exclusive use of the house, what would you imagine or want visitation with the children to look like?
Actually, I'm not assumed because I just want to go back to my home. It's not my home. My home is there. And I want to be with my kids. I don't want to assume something.
Okay, you need to answer her question because I may not let you move back to your home. That is a possibility.
Okay. So she can repeat the question again?
Yes. If you can't go back to your house, what do you want or what is your request in regards to visitation with the children?
I would like to have my kids with me 50-50. Like they can stay there 50 of time and then here with me.
Where you're currently living with your brother, correct? How many bedrooms and bathrooms are in that place?
2 bathroom full and 2 bedroom and big living room.
Okay, so where does your brother and his wife stay or sleep?
They sleep about 9 o'clock.
No, where? Do they have their own bedroom?
Yeah, they have their own bedroom.
Then you have your own bedroom as well.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
Greenwood, do you have any further questions? Ms. Greenwood, do you have any further questions?
Yes, Your Honor, I was looking at my notes. I was expecting. No, Your Honor, I don't have any further questions at this moment.
Okay. I have a couple. Mr. Abulgasim, in January of 25, when you were arrested, the police came to your home and you were arrested at your house. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
Where were you arrested?
I've been arrested in a library in Ontropolis.
What were you doing in a library in Ontropolis?
I went from my work direct there. I have an appointment with legal service counseling. And I was there from 5 o'clock. I was waiting for my term to come. Then I just meet with a volunteer lawyer to talk about my case. And they come and arrest me from inside.
Okay. And is it true that you have a pending criminal charge as well?
For this one, I mean, the arrest that you're talking about now.
Okay, I didn't understand that at all. So you were arrested and there's no pending criminal charge for.
Yeah, when I arrested, there is no.
What pending criminal charge do you have?
The arrest of January 8th, 2025, that's the pending one.
Okay, and what is the criminal charge that you've been charged with?
Alleged assault for my wife, Bushra.
And that's from the January 2024 incident?
Correct.
Okay. All right. What have you seen your children since you were how long were you in jail when you were arrested?
2 days.
Have you seen your children since you were arrested?
After my arrest, after I released?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw my children and they sleep with me many days here. Two of them.
Wait, since you were released from jail in January of this year, the children have spent the night with you at your brother's house?
Yeah, two of them. Yeah, they sleep over. They go to school sometime from here. And my 12 years and 10 years. Yes.
Why didn't the older son and daughters go?
Because they didn't ask for it. I did not ask them for it. And but I meet them.
But you what?
But I meet them. I see them. Because they want.
Go ahead.
They want, usually my teen, the 15 and the 17, they want to be in their own room by themselves.
Right.
Even when we're sharing the room, me and other two, they just everybody has his own room. And their mom too, she has her own room, which is the biggest one.
How many bedrooms is that, the marital residence where your wife is living right now?
4 bedroom.
Did you discuss with your wife the youngest 2 children coming to stay with you since you were released from jail?
She what?
Did you talk to her about the 2 youngest children staying with you?
Oh, actually, she blocking me from any call or anything.
So how did she know where the children were? You just picked them up and took them?
No, I call my kid and I tell them to tell their mom that they're going to come to me. We're going to pick them up.
Okay. Anyone have any questions in line of mine?
Yes, Your Honor, just a few. Your teenage kids, do you guys have is it difficult interacting with your teenage kids sometimes?
Yes.
Do they have attitudes?
Yes.
Do they yell at you sometimes?
Yes.
Do they disrespect you sometimes?
My daughter, she does it a lot in front of her mom.
Would it safe to say they're engaging in normal teenage angst and what kind of comes with just the hormones of being a teenager at that age?
Yeah, that's, I mean, if I understand you well, I mean, how I perceive this, I'm just, every time I say they're teen and then they're going to know later on.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, just every time I say to myself like that.
So despite their angst and they do still try to just be as peaceful with them as possible?
Yes. And actually, what my daughter especially does every time, she doesn't leave her room at all. Unless she want to bring something to eat or something, and she take it to her room too. The only time she came out when I talked to my brother, I mean my son, or she hear me talking to her mom, she come and interfere and worsen the situation. Every time she does that. For the past 6 months, actually.
And is it the same for your son too, where he largely stays in his room?
My son too, yeah. He just in the game every time, and he doesn't like to sit outside. And actually, I mean, that's in our home is the only person that's sit with the other kids. It's like me and my other 2 kids, 12 and 11. That is We stay in the living room, we stay in our room, we stay in the patio. My daughter, my son, the 15 and the 17, and their mom, they don't leave the room. Every time they are in the room. They're coming from school, they go to the room. They're coming from work, she comes from work, she go to the room.
Got it. And quick question. Okay. So when your wife comes from work, does she just go straight to her room?
Most of the time. But usually she doesn't come like when she leave but she come home every day like 8 o'clock or 8:30. She leave the job 6. She leave the job 3:30 p.m. and then she go to her mom. She stay until 8 p.m. and then she come and then she go straight to her room.
Okay. And with that schedule, would you be the one who's feeding the kids at home, or do they just get their own dinner?
Sometimes she does some. Sometimes I cook some. Most of the time, I was bringing like a frozen food, like a pizza and all these fried everything, and put it. Sometimes my older son, the 15, he's the one like to cook, and he one does do the things mostly for his brother, and I help. She does that also. Sometimes their mom she come and do something, but usually in the weekend she can cook, but the other days no.
Got it. Okay. And
and that's including the dishes, cleaning, everything. So I do that, and she does some of it in the weekend, but I do that regularly.
got it.
Dishes in the kitchen.
Got it. Okay. All right. And last thing. No further questions, Your Honor.
Jen, do you have anything?
No, I have no further questions for Mr. Abou-Hussein.
Ms. Greenwood, do you have any further evidence?
No, Your Honor, no other, no, Your Honor. I think that would be it.
Okay. I am unable to enter a complete order because Ms. Greenwood, you and Mr. Abou-Hussein have not complied with the local rules and you haven't given me a proposed support decision.
Sorry, Your Honor. I'll get that to you today.
I specifically want to know how much Mr. Abou-Hussein is paying for the health insurance for himself and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to get with his employer and find out how much it would cost to add the children. I want to know how much it will cost once the divorce is finalized for himself and the children only. Because after the divorce, he's not required to insure her, but no one is to cancel any insurance. The standing orders are in place.
Okay.
I don't think it's appropriate at this point for me to interview the children, but I'm concerned enough. I've heard enough that I'm concerned that I think I'm going to appoint a guardian ad litem to do a brief investigation, because truly the picture I have about the kids is not clear enough for me to make intelligent orders. The fact that he was in jail and then he has the younger boys that I only heard about from him, and they've spent the night several times, but the older children won't talk to him. Problematic. So I'm unfortunately going to have to recess this and have you all come back.
Okay. When would you like us to come back?
Well, I'm going to ask you to hold on a second. I'm going to call down to the domestic relations office and see how quickly I can get a guardian out there to see you all.
Okay.
But Ms. Den, I need to know from you. I don't think we have any Arabic speaking guardians. So how does I need a guardian if I wanted to talk to your client? How do you propose we get a translator involved?
Yes, Your Honor. My client gets services from the Asian Family Services and Support of Austin, the AFSSA. When I have my meetings with my clients, I'm able to get interpretation services there, and I'm very confident that AFSSA would provide interpretation services so that my client would be able to speak with the guardian.
Okay, great. Y'all stand by for a minute. Ms. Chambers, while I'm doing this, or Ms. Bernstein, can y'all find a budget form that's required by the local rules, or point Ms. Greenwood to where she's going to get that? But Ms. Greenwood, I've given you and your client specific homework. I need to know specifics about the cost of insurance for him only, if the IRS pays for it. I suspect they do. How
Okay.
much it costs to add a spouse, how much it costs to add a family, which is spouse and children, and then how much it would be if it was just children and no spouse.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will get that.
Y'all, hold on, come back. I'm gonna have some other rulings, but hold on for a second. I'm going to appoint a guardian ad litem from the Domestic Relations Office to do a brief investigation. I'm gonna reset you all. Next week, I am what's called duty court, which Ms. Greenwood has a specific meaning here. I don't have any evidentiary hearings next week. All I do is handle the TROs and the emergencies. And the guardian probably couldn't get ready until then. Are you all available on the 19th of February, which is a Wednesday? It's a Wednesday after MLK Day at 9 a.m.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. I don't have anything.
Ms. Den?
Yes, that would work for me. Yes, Your Honor. February 19th is fine.
Ms. Greenwood, since you're out of town, I suppose you're going to want to do this via Zoom again.
I'm okay with traveling, Your Honor. I'm not opposed to it. If the court would prefer it.
Ms. Dent, does that cause a problem for you as far as getting your interpreters available?
No, it should be fine to be in person. Actually, if you prefer, that would be fine.
I found this to be more difficult than usual. So let's do 9 a.m. I'm going to ask the guardian to have a brief report, which means I'm going to need, I'll fill out an order today. I'm going to need, well, actually, I'm going to send Miss Greenwood and Miss Den in just a minute via email. They need to fill out with their clients' contact information, emails, telephone numbers,
okay,
etc. Ms. Den, for your client, I need you to we may have to have them communicate, the guardian communicate through you or Asian Family Services. The guardian will come out and see both parties, talk to the children briefly in their homes. But in Ms. Greenwood, I want in advance a budget form because I just can't possibly make any financial orders without.
I will get that to you, Your Honor.
With the car payments or the insurance. I'm kind of appalled that children have gone all this time without any insurance, frankly.
I think the children are covered, Your Honor.
That's not what your client just testified to.
No, the children are on Medicaid.
They will be on Medicaid next month because mom enrolled them. He testified that for 11 years, the children have not been covered by insurance, but the parents have been covered. That's what I heard. Am I mistaken?
Is that correct?
You may answer. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor. The only thing that I want to say, so my job, it used to be seasonal. So when I'm out of work before, I don't have any coverage even. It's not 11 years, like 11 years. I've been working for 11 years. But for the past 5 years, my kids, they have a Medicaid. And it stopped only on August of 2024. Then I applied to see if I can cover them. That's what happened. But in this time, she trying to apply in the same time. And I was trying to see if I can add them to my insurance. But I find that the payment is too high for me up to this point with she in my insurance and other things that I have to pay for.
Well, and of course, that's for me to look at and decide, but I can't do it because I don't know what you have to pay for because you don't have a budget as required by the local rules.
I'll get that to you, Your Honor.
And Ms. Greenwood, there's part of me, I appreciate you saying that you would be here. It is my impression that there's not a lot of extra money for these folks.
No.
So as much as I did not love today's Zoom hearing with all the various issues we had, I don't want to increase the party's cost significantly for you to come from Houston.
It will not increase it, Your Honor. It won't. I could assure you of that.
Well, okay, that's a lot on you. I'll give you an out. I'd let you do it by Zoom, even though it wasn't my favorite. I would do it because I don't want to make what's going to be a difficult process more difficult for anyone.
No, I'm okay with it being by in person on the 19th, Your Honor.
Mr. Abulgasim, yes. What are you trying to tell me?
Yeah, just to my knowledge, I talked to my wife before about the health insurance. If she can enroll in her insurance because her employer offered that too, then it's going to be easy to me with the kids.
Okay, hold on. Then both parties are ordered and they're going to have to work with their attorneys to see if they have employer provided health insurance, how much it costs. Does the employer pay for the employee? Typically, that's how it works. I don't know if that's true for Ms. Assad's job, but how much would it cost to add a spouse and children, or just children? Usually you can get a sheet that breaks out all of those levels, and I need that information from both parties. But I also think we have to check with the Attorney General about what the cost for the cash medical support is. Ms. Jen, it's not enough for us to estimate and say we think it's $50. Because I've never seen it be 50 even. I've seen it be 57. I've seen it be more. I've seen them do it based on a percentage of income. So somebody needs to check with the Attorney General's office. I will make these preliminary orders. Ms. Assad has granted the exclusive and temporary use of the house. I'm going to grant a protective order at this point until I can have some more information from the guardian ad litem for 2 months and I'm giving myself the option to extend it. Because I'm granting it at this point, Mom will be the sole managing conservator, and she has the right to establish the children's primary residence. I am not going to assign all of the rights and duties until I hear from the guardian. I don't fault Mom for the language issues, but it does cause me some concern. I need to find out, can she communicate with the school? How involved has she been, et cetera, because even if she's the sole managing conservator, I can require her to consult with Father for making decisions. I don't know what I'll do. And I don't know what the amount of child support will be or any other support. But Ms. Den, asking that he pay all of the mortgage and everything for the house and child support. I don't have a budget, but I saw how much he makes, and that is unsustainable. He has to be able to live too. That is an unreasonable ask. Everybody is going to have some pain with this separation, as happens with almost all divorcing couples. Because by definition, people were living together in one house and had one pie with both their income, and now we're making 2 pies. So the 2 pies are going to be smaller, which means everybody's going to have less income. And it's just the unfortunate fact of divorce. But until I finish any orders, Mr. Abul Ghasim is ordered. Is the mortgage paid for February, sir?
I did.
Okay. Are the car payments paid for February?
The due is going to be 21st, and she's paying it, but she said she's not going to pay.
I don't know. You said she's paying it, but she says she's not going to pay it. That seems like a contradictory statement to me.
Okay. Your Honor, she been paying it, and now she put a condition. Unless you put it in my name, I'm not going to pay the payment for the car that she used to.
Ms. Assad, have you been making any of your own car payments in the past? Have you made any of your own car payments?
Yes. أنت دفعتي سيارات من قبل صح؟
دفعت السيارة الأولى كلها.
Yes, I paid the first car, all of it.
الثانية أنا بدفع البيمنت بتاعها من شهر 3.
And the second one, I pay the monthly payment.
Is there only a payment on the one car, or are there 2 car payments for the 2 cars that are at your household, ma'am?
عم بتقول لك هي إنه الدفعة هي سيارتين هي ولا سيارة واحدة؟ هلا. Just one car.
Just one car payment?
بس دفعة واحدة للسيارة في هلا؟ Yes, just one.
And that's the car that you drive, ma'am?
هل هي السيارة اللي أنت عم بتسوقيها يا سيدة؟ Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're ordered to make that car payment for this month.
أنت لازم تعملي دفعة السيارة عم بتقول لك.
Mr. Assad, you're ordered to pay the car insurance for all the cars.
وبدك تدفعي الانشورنس للسيارات.
and the utilities for the house until I can sort this out. I can't sort it out until I get
نعمل
it.
utility للبيت لأنه
Miss Greenwood, I want it to be what he's got now. I realize that he's living with his brother, but I need to show him what he's been paying up to now.
هل بدي أشوفه شو أعمل؟
And I want that, you can have it to me by next week, by next Wednesday. And I want to have it so I can look at it before our next hearing.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
All right, I think those are the only orders I'm going to make at this point. Ms. Den, you can draft a protective order. That's good for 2 months, but it'll specifically say I'm reserving the option to extend it if I feel I need to. I'm going to maintain the status quo. All right.
And by next week, you mean by next week, Wednesday, correct, Your Honor? Or Thursday? It's Thursday.
I'd like it by next Wednesday, please.
Thank you.
All right. Protective order is remaining in effect. Mr. Abelgeson, stay away. Don't go to the house. Don't take the cars. Don't follow her. Stay away from that. I'm going to make sure you have a possession schedule with your children. I haven't heard anything that makes me think that you shouldn't see your children at all. But since I'm putting this off for 2 weeks, let me see what this is. I'm going to let him have possession of the 2 youngest boys this weekend.
Okay.
Ken, is it possible to get them? Where have you been picking them up, Mr. Abelgeson?
I let my brother pick them up.
Okay. You can have them from Friday at 6. Can you get them to school on Monday?
Yes, I can.
Because
Usually
if not, I just want your brother to return them Sunday night. Just tell me what's easiest for you.
Okay. I can do it, but their sister, she picked them up usually, even from here.
Okay, Sunday night. So Sunday until Sunday
Night. Okay.
at 6. So Friday 6, your brother can pick up from mother's house. And Sunday at 6, the oldest child will pick up from your brother's house.
Your Honor?
You can see the older 2 children if you can work it out with them directly, but I'm not going to order it until I get the guardian. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, for my kids, the 2, that means I'm not going to see them other days, because I want to understand the order well.
You could have 1 weeknight the following week. You get that weekend, you don't get the weekend of February 14th. You can have an overnight on Wednesday or Thursday next week. Which do you prefer?
Your Honor, is the kids they're gonna try to come. I mean, they're gonna call me to come to see me.
The oldest can come if they want to. I'm not preventing them. I'm just not going to order it. What day do you want the younger 2? On a Wednesday night or Thursday night? Wednesday the 12th or Thursday the 13th?
We can do weekend, Friday and Saturday and Sunday. That's what you said.
I've already said that.
Okay.
Then until we come back on the 19th, I was going to offer you 1 more overnight, but if you can't tell me now.
Okay. Thursday is good.
All right. And Thursday the 13th can you get them after school?
Yes.
It'll be school to school. So you can pick them up from school and get them back to school on Friday. That's just for the 2 youngest ones. If you can work out something with the 2 oldest ones, fine. If not, I'm going to wait to hear back from the guardian. But I do need both the parents to cooperate when the guardian reaches out, this is a short time frame. We're going to be back here in 1 day less than 2 weeks. The guardian didn't have a lot of time, but the guardian's got to meet with both of you all. So make yourself available. All right. And Ms. Greenwood, I'll be looking for the budget form from you no later than next Wednesday.
Got it. Yes, Your Honor. And what about app close? Do you want them to communicate through? Well, there's a protective order, so scratch that. Sorry.
No, I think they can communicate
through app close.
Yeah. Because there could be emergencies with the kids or something.
Okay.
They're communicate only about the children.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
With app close. Part of the reason we do app close is so you know we can read it. I'm not sure I can read. I know I can't read Arabic, so I don't know how helpful that will be. Yes, Mr. Abelgeson.
Yeah, Your Honor, I just want to mention something that about the obligation for the tax of.
Not taking that up today. Should have been brought up before. We've had a long hearing today. That should have been brought up and should have been part of your pre-trials. We can take it up when I see you again. Are you talking about the federal income tax?
Yes.
Well, that's not anything I have to decide today. That doesn't have to be filed till April 15th. So, and furthermore, I can't force you to file taxes together. I don't have that authority. Y'all ought to talk about it and do whatever saves you the most money, but I can't order it. Yes, Ms. Denham.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to clarify for the hearing on February 19th, how much time are you asking? Because I need to let the interpreter services know as well.
2 hours, no more than 2 hours.
Yes. And do we need to submit an announcement on Monday, on the Monday before that
Yeah,
hearing?
I want y'all to go ahead and announce. I'm going to ask my JEA to go ahead and get us a setting with Mr. Stokes. And Ms. Den, you're going to need to work on getting the interpreter set up. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, I will do that. Thank you.
And in the meantime, draft that protective order, send it to Ms. Greenwood and get it to my submission email address, hopefully before the end of the day tomorrow, if possible. May not be possible, but I would like it to have it if possible. All right.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.